It's Wednesday. You know what that means? The Cinema Studios is back here once again, bringing you that weekly delight on Wednesday night as we celebrate a milestone. This is the 6th-year anniversary of the Wednesday Night Stand Professional Wrestling. Welcome to AEW Dynamite. Welcome to the discussion, the coverage, and the reactions, everybody. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Happy 1st of October to all of you. Hope nothing more tonight you get is a treat and no tricks to galore. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again to the Statlander Studios. You know what this is. I am the Simple Man of the Simple Brand, the voice of FRS Forever, grateful for all professional wrestling, especially all elite wrestling. Damn it. My name is Noah Foster. Thank you all for tuning in, whether live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. You want to dictate the conversation, PayPal, Patches, or Super Chat. It is as simple as that. We have a stat card on here tonight. Trios actually with the Death Riders, John Moxley, Claudio, Castagnoli, Garcia taking on Hangman, Adam Page, Powerhouse, Hobbs, Samoa, Joes. The champion, the Opps, stepping up towards the Death Riders after Cassidy was taken out during the all-out Saturday tailgate brawl. Trios actually continues galore with Josh Alexander, the Don Cost fan, the Young Bucks taking on Kenny Omega, the returning cleaner, alongside the tag team champions Brodido. We also have mixed tornado tag warfare with Darby, Allin, and Kris Statlander taking on Willie Good and Marina Shafir. After Statlander told the Death Riders, F off, I stand on my own. We also see the return of Timeless Toni Storm as we are in Hollywood, Florida. So stay tuned for our former Timeless AEW World Champion to be on stage tonight for this special 2.5-hour Dynamite. Jurassic Express, for the first time, are back in action. They return tonight, possibly going after the Tag Team Championships on a return journey from extinction. And the TNT Champions on the line as the Protostar Fletcher against and expressly squeeze Orange Cassidy. That and so much more ahead as we are just moments away from AEW Dynamite as we celebrate their 6th-year anniversary. What a wild year it's been since October 1st last year with the ride of the Death Riders coming to an end. Hangman and Adam Page liberating the championship from that briefcase. We, of course, saw Continental Classic Tsuchiko Okada make history, now winning 5 round-robin tournaments, the rise of the Protostar, the rise of the Don Callis family. Of course, Swerve and Will Ospreay are out indefinitely due to injury, but of course, Will Ospreay is coming off successful neck surgery, so we're very happy to hear that. And of course, Kris Statlander, now the new AEW Women's World Champion. We had a timeless saga end with the Glamour back at the Hollywood ending, which started all the way back last year at Allin, transcended through Australia Grand Slam, and culminated, of course, at Revolution this year. But Dynamite, of course, Wednesday nights have brought so many incredible moments, incredible matches, incredible championship upsets, one-on-one, one-of-a-kind, first-time encounters from Athena versus Mercedes Moné in the Allin to, of course, Spring Breakthrough, where AEW, of course, transcended beyond WCW's lifespan. As, of course, we celebrate Wednesday Night Dynamite here for the 6th year. I would love to know some of y'all's favorites, moments, reactions, matches, your takeaways from the last calendar year, where we've really seen this roster evolve into its own little presentation where each stage feels different. Good to see CJ D 2006 in the chat. And Rock and Ropes, always appreciate you, brother. Go check out DJ where he's laying it down and blazing a virtual trail across the X. When, of course, it's Rock and Ropes time. But I definitely get back on soon for City Predicting and so much more. So, that being said, I hope everyone enjoys the discussion, the reactions, and the coverage. Again, this is a 2.5-hour special. No idea if I'm Joey Styles it tonight, but it wouldn't be the first time that you've all been my color analyst along for the entire ride. So let's go ahead and have a fucking good time tonight, shall we? So, Fett, good to see you as always. And I hope that y'all stay tuned for later this week when, of course, we bring the Saturday Shenanigans, the weekly Myrick Conversation Wrestling Mass, hosted by the Renegade Wrestling JJ Williams. And prepare next week for a double feature City Predicting for TNA Bound for Glory and WWE Crown Jewel. There will also, of course, be predictions post-mortem the following week with me and Papagino regarding WWE Crown Jewel. And I will be back on the Noted Q review next week. And stay tuned. I want to give a happy birthday to our Canadian friend Ash. I'll be with her next week as well for a preview of King of Pro Wrestling on Ash's chats through her channel. And we go inside the Hard Rock live at the Seminole Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, Florida. AEW Dynamite is alive. So here we freaking go. As Excalibur brings us in with that phrase I have defined Wednesday night since the late, great Brody Lee. Should have been an historic night. A lot of fun ahead. Rox is there, Ropes is there live on Hardcam. That's freaking awesome. And also happy International Coffee Day. Cheers to you all. Of course, I continue to do the do. As, of course, once again, they run down the card. Jurassic Express, of course, for the first time since the fallout between them, back together tonight. Trios action with the Death Riders and the Opps. Hangman and Adam Page stepping up for Katsura Shibata. We will also hear for the first time timeless Toni Storm as she returns to Hollywood, Florida tonight since losing the AEW Women's World Championship. Due to the injury to Hologram, Kyle Fletcher now has a different challenger for the conglomeration, stepping up to him and his legacy as TNT champion in freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. After Kris Statlander gave her answer with a lariat to Yuta, Marina, Shafir in mixed tornado tag match action with Darby Allin and Kris Statlander on the other side as Darby Allin looks to make John Moxley say, "I quit" at Wrestle Dream. But coming up next, get ready to hear the battle cry as Kenny Omega returns to team outside Brodido to take on the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander as he kick things off with AEW Dynamite with this trios match. Wow, they're actually with Cutler again? I can't believe that. And Sandy, good to see you. Hosting from Annapolis while watching Guys Grocery Games on the Food Network. My mom's a big fan of the channel. I greatly appreciate that. And also Guy Fieri, also an awesome dude. Down to Drivers and Dies, also a great stop for all your entertainment needs and possibly your favorite food critiques. Speaking of food critiques, out to the other half of the Canadian Connection, Nick Ferrantes, curious what his order is. Appreciate him as always and the crazy energy that he brings. Thank you to all those, by the way, that supported us this past weekend with the Saturday Shenanigans Canadian karaoke special hosted by Jeff Meacham and JJ Williams. As Young Bucks look to double their money, and it looks like you're going to get double the commentary after all because it looks like Nick Ferrantes has joined me on the call, the founder of his Wendy's order this time.
Hey.
How you doing tonight?
What's up, buddy? What's going on?
Not a whole lot. The Young Bucks, of course, blowing their load. They are literally spending all that money in that duffel bag, I think.
Yep.
Oh. I think Nick doesn't know what Matt did with all that money in the duffel bag.
Is it empty?
I'm going to guess that it's empty because you notice he's not saying a word.
It's empty.
I think it's empty. Uh-oh. I think the Young Bucks just went bankrupt.
Wow. They don't even get an entrance. The broke Bucks.
And this is a simple announcement from the Superman reminding you to gamble responsibly.
Happy 6 years.
Bucks. Account balance $0.00. They can't even buy a freaking yogurt.
Happy 6 year anniversary though.
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, you know what? They were pirates since day one, so there's that. As we look towards their tag team partner, still the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling champion, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander.
That's amazing.
Freaking idiots. Josh Alexander and
gamble responsibly.
Well, I mean, again, I can't stress that enough as a simple, frugal man. And, of course, we saw 4 weeks ago, Nick, September 3rd in Philly, Josh Alexander's Don Callis family teamed up against Kenny Omega and Hangman Page to take Kenny Omega out of the equation to Don Callis' own mindset indefinitely.
So you're saying story?
Well, I mean, this is professional wrestling, is it not? We have stories sometimes. Again, that freaking brain buster from the apron to the floor for that table. Don Callis thought he eliminated Kenny Omega altogether. But you can't keep the cleaner down as he looks to rise again here tonight at AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary with a very unique set of partners.
This is probably the one thing this is one thing that I'm a little bit disappointed in. I did not get this entrance.
Man, but still, you're looking at now, Brody and Bandido still are AEW World Tag Team Champions as we await the cleaner. Oh, God, Kenny Omega is back. And I love Battle Cry, one of my favorite themes right now in professional wrestling. Legit.
I think Battle Cry is top 5.
That's a fair shout.
I would say, I would even say top 3, but now do you know how Battle Cry came? Like, did he use Battle Cry in New Japan?
No, that came when he That came when he first arrived in AEW, and of course, you can go look at the original singer of the song on YouTube. Battle Cry has defined Kenny Omega's AEW career. Kenny Omega also, by the way, is the only Grand Slam champion in AEW. Previous AEW International Champion, AEW World Champion, and AEW World Tag Team Champion.
I wonder if Kenny's ever going to hold the TNT Championship.
I honestly wonder if Kenny Omega is going to hold another championship, but does he have to? I mean, again, with newfound second life, thanks to surviving diverticulitis, you honestly wonder what is next for the cleaner. But until we get for the Don Callis family, we're truly not going to know, Nick.
No. We got Battle of Canada here.
I'm about to say, how long have you been waiting for Kenny Omega versus Josh Alexander?
It's definitely it's a Manitoba versus Ontario match right here.
There you go. Different provinces. And, of course, AEW is being talked about on the X by the All Elite Fleet. You can, of course, follow AEW Dynamite, be part of the conversation, the X, using the hashtag AEW Dynamite, or be along with us here for the ride, which, again, should be a lot of fun here tonight. Of course, we have Don Callis on commentary. And I'm sure it won't be too long before we hear our favorite chant. The drop down by Omega, Josh off the ropes. Ooh, good scouting. And Kenny Omega takes the weapon up and over the Tiaras. So fireman's scary.
One thing we should point out, and I mean, it's more along the lines for Josh.
Ooh.
Remember, he came out and said that he didn't want a WrestleMania match. WrestleMania to him wasn't a thing. You know, all these wrestlers nowadays, they want their WrestleMania moment. They want, that's their dream. Josh, it wasn't that wasn't the case. It was, I think he said that his dream was to face Kenny Omega.
Well, everyone has a different dream in this life. And again, you only live once. Sent on by Brodido to the Young Bucks. And sometimes a dream could absolutely be a nightmare. And I'm sure Kenny Omega is looking to wake up from the nightmare that is Don Callis, still trying to make his life a living hell. Nice double team there by Brodido to the Young Bucks. We are just days removed from your all-elite experience at AEW Out, where you saw Brodido survive that 8-man car wreck against the Young Bucks and Hechicera on Josh Alexander and Jet Speed. Good combination here. Great evasive action by Bandido, dodging the Young Bucks super kick party and doing the Macarena. I didn't know that was still a thing. Bandido up the ropes. Now set. Off, double hip toss reversal, cartwheel escape by Nick and Matt Jackson, who, when did the Macarena become back in style in 2025? I'm just going to leave that alone. Nice running drop kick by Kenny Omega to his former elite brethren.
Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
What the hell? Well, I guess it's always time for a Macarena. And Brody King to double clothesline the Young Bucks afterwards. Brody, don't do it. Don't you do it. Brody, don't do it, man. You're a leader of a freaking punk metal band. Josh Alexander not going to allow us to find out if Brody King can do the Macarena. And no, we're not doing the Macarena on air tonight, all right? You go do it in your living rooms. Josh Alexander sent to the outside, and Kenny Omega over the top with a plunger, wiping out everybody. Speaking of dreams, as you talked about, Nick, let's not forget this month comes Wrestle Dream! October 18th from St. Louis, Missouri. One match made official. Darby versus Jon Moxley. I quit.
Yes. And we would be remiss to say, no, Blood and Guts is, never mind. I was going to say, Blood and Guts is coming before Full Gear, Wrestle Dream, but Blood and Guts is actually coming before Full Gear.
And, of course, we'll talk more about Blood and Guts, I'm sure, in the AEW Women's Division. And their evolution, particularly this year, has been the happiest of my delight across Dynamite these last 52 weeks. Knowing, to your point, they are going to celebrate violence in Blood and Guts for the first time. And look at the string of Bandido hoisting up Brody King on top of Josh Alexander.
That was a great little gag. He did the X. No.
As they don't underestimate Bandido's strength because he's a speed demon. Tag made to Kenny Omega. Of course, we're talking about the women's division. Thomas Toni Storm, former AEW Women's World Champion, will be back here tonight, and apparently will be going one-on-one against Ty Mello, one half of Ty J, who no doubt have their eyes on the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. Now newly minted and officially revealed for the AEW Women's Division. Unique backbreaker there. Good to see Taz on commentary. Shout out to Taz, Excalibur, and Brian Danielson. our AEW Dynamite commentary team. Vicious Netbreaker Slingshot Senton combination by the Bucks.
You want a drink?
The Bucks right now working such a cohesive unit.
Uh-huh.
Of course, record saying 3-time WWE champions catching Bandido midair with a super kick party. Cazadora. Oh! Cazadora cutter combination there.
This looks so good, honey. You
And
did
of course,
such a great job.
off the ropes.
It's not going to fix anything.
Shout out to Mrs. Ferrantes, by the way. Hope that she is doing well. Thank you for your participation in both karaoke and shenanigans. Charles Crushers on both Bucks.
Karaoke was fun.
It was something, and I'm just going to leave it at that. As Kenny Omega might be feeling something here, and we might see the rise of the Terminator tonight. And Kenny Omega picking up speed, going to the other side of the ring, and Josh. Whoa! Josh Alexander stopping the acceleration, but sent to the outside. Kenny Omega once again looking to pick up speed, and Kenny Omega, oh man, runs into a derailing super kick party. Dancing the butts out of River. Vicious Josh with the running, falling, Rod's body to the back of Kenny Omega. Alexander returning Omega back in the ring. Don and Kyle's family get controlled here. Young Bucks try to neutralize the tag team champion. Split the up. Runs goes Nick. Good grief. And Nick Jackson wiping out Brodido. Getting Omega isolated with both Bucks here. Not the first time I've seen that. Triple team offense by the Don Callis family and Young Bucks assistants. Up in the Argentine, backbreaker, spin him around, airplane bomb. And Nick Jackson wiping out Brodido on the outside here. And don't go anywhere because, again, folks, this is television. You know my mantra, but we'll be continuing covering the action here, whether it's Wrestling Quiet picture-in-picture or full commercial break analysis. Fuck television.
No, I just have to send a text message. I'll be right back. I might exit this packet.
I'm going to be looking at the chat here as Sandy talks about things over bringing back in the Macarena. Song stuck in my head as I type this. They're the ones that did it. I'm just acknowledging it. I'm the blind conduit to this madness. And by the way, shout out again to what DJ talked about with ropes being there on hard cam. Hope he's having an incredible time. I don't remember that show. That was a teammate thing, right? Someone can fact check that for me. I greatly appreciate it. Well, anyway, though, again, we got a commercial break here. You do wonder with so much coming up to Nick's point. Of course, we have Wrestle Dream this month. We got Blood and Guts next month. Title Tuesday next week, Tuesday. We also, of course, have Full Gear next month, which, of course, will lead into the Continental Classic. Will culminate most likely at World's End from Chicago, Illinois, to the end of December. We will likely have Holiday Bash and Rumble on 34th Street as we get ready for the new calendar year of a New Year's Smash. There's still so much more. Of course, AEW has yet to figure out who's going to be Hangman Adam Page's next opponent. What is this virus infecting Hologram as he's out on injury again?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Again, the guy cannot catch a break. He cannot catch a break.
No, he can't.
And I was looking forward to Hologram versus Kyle Fletcher, Streak versus title, because Hologram is still undefeated. He is unbeaten and submitted in AEW, which is crazy. Well, anyway. So now we got more to brief. Nick, what's on the menu tonight? I see you eating something good there.
My lovely wife made spaghetti and rosé beef ragu.
Very nice.
She's a great cook. She just knocks my socks off in the kitchen.
He's in the doghouse, so he's kissing ass right now.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So, happy wife, happy life, disgruntled wife, husband right now on life support. Again, I don't have to be in a relationship to understand relationships. And no, I'm not ever going to host the morning talk show regarding that. Go watch Steve Harvey for that. Ribshot in the chat. Who do you think is the next world title contender? Well, considering Mark Briscoe, really? You think Mark Briscoe will get a respectable mutual bout against him and Adam Page for the title?
I think so.
Well, he's not even on the card tonight, so how do you see that coming into play?
I feel like he I feel like Adam Page will go to him and say, "Listen, I know you got screwed for the title. let me give you because of that reason. Like that's I see the way of Page giving him a world title match because MJF messed them up, right? He cost them that shot.
Correct.
So I'm thinking maybe that's what happens where because of that reason he gets a title shot. Like the other shoe though that has to drop for that to happen is we have to get some sort of dissension for Takeshita and Okada, right? Because I truly think that the best main event for a show called Wrestle Dream would be that match we all want, which is Okada versus Takeshita for the unified title.
Well, before that, we got to see if Konosuke Takeshita becomes new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion at King of Pro Wrestling Ryogoku Sumo Hall on October 14th. And I think that's going to have huge implications on both AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling, regardless of that result. But I do understand your point. Watch out, Brody King just planted Josh Alexander. Boss man slam for a 2 count.
Is there?
Yeah.
Great save on the Young Bucks there, who are double teaming the big man here. Brody King, of course, such an accomplished AEW Trios champion, now AEW World Tag Team champion, former tag team champion alongside Malachi Black as Kings of the Black Throne. Bucks able to escape out of the corner. Double kicks in the midsection to Brody King. And off the ropes. Breaks through the banner. And Brody King, big boot. Fine tag made, by the way, to Bandido. Tag champions working in perfect synergy off their last successful defense just last week against the Gates of Agony.
Because I had no other sauce to substitute it with.
And Bandido looking to call his shot. And Josh catching Bandido. Uh-oh. Josh!
Yeah, you did.
Drop on the apron.
There's a can of sauce.
This is what too.
Rolling steps on by Brody King and Josh Alexander. Big PK.
For how much? Because that's 10% for 125.
Drop kick, but watch Kenny Omega. Oh! Inadvertent contact. What a nasty yen-back collision on the Young Bucks there, created by Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega once again picking up speed as Kenny Omega looks to fly.
What about the jar?
And Don Cow is running for his life. That freaking parasite. They run out of Florida back to Canada. Beautiful replay here with the rise of the Terminator. Kenny Omega wiping out everybody on the outside and sending Don Callis running. Bandido looking to show his hand, looking for the 21 plex. Whoa! And Nick able to escape it, land on his feet. Hoist it up. Into Josh Alexander. What the hell? And Bandido. Gonna kick it. What the world? Trios pile drivers! And nearly got the win as somehow Josh Legal Man got his shoulder up. I don't think I've ever seen a sequence like that. Brodido and Kenny Omega overpowering the Bucks and Alexander into Trios pile driver pinfall covers. Great resilience shown by the challengers.
I wish I had hair like Kenny.
Kenny Omega has always had a unique hairstyle. So has Hiroshi Tanahashi, as his fundamental kinship will, of course, conclude at Wrestle Kingdom 20, January 4th next year, that we will be covering, as people are still wondering who will be the Ace's final opponent.
Who do you think the Ace's final opponent is going to be?
I honestly have no idea. Again, I've watched Hiroshi Tanahashi's career for the better part of 12 years in New Japan, so it's a who's who, but we know he's going to face Kato Kiyomiya at Wrestle Odyssey in Corrigan Hall for Pro Wrestling Noah, literally on October 6th. Super kick party, German suplex combination by the Walkie Weapon and the Bucks to Brody King, excuse me. It's a great assist there for the deadlift German.
Is there anybody that you'd want him to face?
There are a few names I have in mind, but I'm going to suspend my judgment till I see what happens at King of Pro Wrestling, because that's always the first real setup to some of Wrestle Kingdom's outlook. And right now, this setup here by the Bucks, Josh Alexander, triple team and Kenny Omega, super kick, Gourdbuster, face first, planted in the ring. That might be it. Covered by the walking weapon kid. Kick out at 2.5 by Kenny Omega. Alexander immediately transitioning, though, into an ankle lock. Going for that stiff toe hold here. And a super kick by Bandido breaks that up, and it looks like we're going to have a super kick party. Swing and a miss. Kicks galore for everybody. Down goes Brody. Meanwhile, the Bucks, looking to focus on Kenny Omega possibly for... Oh! Anti-air raid missile launch. Snapdragon by Kenny Omega. And hooking up Nicholas for one. Josh Alexander and Kenny Omega are still the two legal men here. Push up the ropes. Bang! V-trigger! Right to the top of the spine. And Omega with a poison Rana. Torquing the neck of Josh Alexander. Don Callis has found his way back to ringside for commentary. Power bomb! Lines him up and bang! V-trigger! I could call V-triggers all night long. I love that freaking move. Just a stiff knee to the face. I don't know if I think it's more effective than a Kamagoye, but that's a different conversation. Kenny Omega and Brodido lining up Josh Alexander! V-trigger! Bandido 21 Plex! And Brody came up in the box on the outside with a suicide dive. Kenny Omega hoisting up Josh. Headpiece off. Hook of the head. One winged angel cover. Two. That's it.
Good match. Very, very good match.
And a great return to form for Kenny Omega, sticking it to Don Callis.
So I guess we got
victory.
Good match.
Start with the AEW Tag Team Champions teaming up with the Cleaner here at AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary with the one-wing angel, the Josh Alexander. First time Josh ever felt that.
Uh-oh.
I was saying, the constant shadow that haunts over Kenny Omega still at ringside. Don Callis, as Kenny Omega gets the better of his former family once again and his former friends. Kenny Omega, of course, back to form here in AEW. Great to see him back. Again, we wonder what the future holds in store for the Cleaner. But now, wait a minute. Well, I was saying, these three guys, they were part of AEW's inception. They were the elite. Kenny Omega, Nick, and Matt Jackson inside the ring together. You almost wonder if these three can actually bury the hatchet. Oh, what the hell? Well, never mind. Josh Alexander with a cheap shot. Can't say I'm surprised. And right now, the Bucks not getting involved here, actually, but they're also not stopping him. And Josh teeing off like Kenny Omega. Wait a minute. Oh. Well, we knew they would be back. There's Jungle Boy, Jet Perry, Luchasaurus, Jurassic Express. And Tarzan Boy playing out since, I don't know when, honestly, since All Out. What was it like when you heard that song, Nick?
Oh, everybody was going crazy for them when they came back.
Well, it looks like right now they're kind of going crazy here as the Young Bucks stand face-to-face with Jurassic Express. Meanwhile, Josh Alexander is still teeing off against Kenny Omega in the corner, though. Not sure what's going to happen here in this standoff. Let's not forget Scapegoat Jack Perry and the Elite once ran Russia AEW. Double DT takeover by Jack Perry. And Luchasaurus got both Bucks goozled. Choke slams. Big Dinosaur back from extinction. Jack Perry running jumping knee strike. Kenny Omega snapdragon to Josh Alexander. And Kenny Omega face to face with Scapegoat Jack Perry. Or should I say Jungle Boy Jack Perry now? I'm sure Kenny Omega has not forgotten what he did to him.
I love how Jack still has the knife on his pocket.
All right, but again, does time heal wounds, especially when you attack a man that puts him on a stretcher that night? Oh, wait a minute, Jack Perry, whoa! Wiping out the Bucks on the outside. Almost makes me wonder if this is going to be another impromptu trios match of sorts. Right now, though, the Jurassic Express keeping their focus on the Young Bucks, sending Nick and Matt backstage. 7-10, we're going to get the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express here pretty soon, Nick.
And that'll be an absolute banger of a match.
Kenny Omega's got a microphone. Let's go ahead and hear what the cleaner has to say regarding all this.
See, they're talking, honey.
It's nice to actually hear it.
Years. Been since day one. Seen the highs of highs. And seen the lowest of the lows. Sometimes that doesn't matter. Well, you take pride in the journey itself. So look at that scene right here in this building. Been here, just like me, since day one. I know I've followed this coming since day one. Is this your first show? That's been fine too. Each and every one, I appreciate you. We made so many friends along the way. We've even lost a couple. What matters here today is that we all experience together. But I am a better person because of it. Thank you for everything that came before. And thank you to each and every one of you that draws today's form.
Uh-oh.
Whatever that's in store. I must bid you a fine adieu. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang. Kenny Omega. Wait, why the lights go out? What the hell? Uh-oh. Pitch black and I can't see a damn thing.
Wow.
I don't know what happened. What the hell? Wait a minute. No way. What?
Welcome back.
Hello? What the hell is Andrade doing back in AEW? What? Andrade just wiped out Kenny Omega. Andrade's back. Nick, we saw him. What the? Attacking Canada, the Scissor Duck. Let's not forget these two once faced each other over the Triple Omega Championship at one point. Uh-oh. Oh!
I really hope he... no.
Les Sombra is All Elite once again.
No. I really hope... Oh.
Wow.
Okay. I guess this is Wardlow's replacement.
I certainly didn't expect this. Don Callis with the handout. Andrade, apparently, to your point, Nick, may have just joined the John Callis family. Andrade El Idolo is back in AEW. And he just wiped out Kenny Omega.
I mean, it was... Listen, I think you kind of knew.
What the hell? I mean, I always thought Andrade could return AEW, but I didn't think it'd be this quick. Let alone in this form. Now Kenny has even more problems. And Don Callis has even more protection. Once again, the invisible hand shows his hand again. And a parting shot there by Andrade to Kenny Omega.
Wow.
What the hell else is going to happen here? We're just 30 minutes into the night, and we already got a return back to AEW. Nick, I didn't expect that. That was not on my list at all tonight of surprise moments that could happen here. AEW Dynamite keeps us guessing. And Don Callis once again one step ahead of Kenny Omega. Whoa. I saw Andrade live when he took on the Bastard Pac. We remember his program with Buddy Matthews. We remember when Andrade Ego also was involved in the Continental Classic and previous challenge of the TNT Championship, but I guess we're going to have to just keep going and see what happens here. Anyway, again, as we're celebrating AEW Dynamite's 6th anniversary, 6 years this has been the Wednesday night standard delight for professional wrestling fans, new, old, and then some. Again, countless moments, one-of-a-kind promos and segments. There's been so much that Dynamite has offered in this calendar year alone with the transition to HBO Max and Amazon Prime for even pay-per-view outlets. Dynamite itself and its history, Nick, has offered newfound life in professional wrestling. Some people might forget, but some people have really missed. Whether it was violent, whether it felt more authentic, whether it felt more competitive. It's been an absolute insane calendar year for AEW since October last year.
Yeah, listen, as much as people want to talk shit and say, "Oh, they're not this is the worst year." Yes, can their creative be better? Absolutely. They it can always be better, right? Nobody's perfect. But the fact that this company, like, we're looking at it now, all of these moments,
Blood and guts, of course, Jesus.
These moments don't happen, right? If like, we're as bad as people want to say that this product is, or they don't tell stories, or this or that, we're at 6 years, and they're not going away anytime soon. So, like, seeing all these memories from previous years, it's like, wow, they've been through a lot. This company has been through a lot.
And it doesn't look like they're letting up anytime soon, to your point. We saw, of course, Kris Statlander's rise to the championship. MJF and Will Ospreay shared a 59-minute, 58-second classic and a follow-up at All In last year. The arrival of Ricochet. Of course, we saw Grand Slam Mexico. We saw, of course, the formation of the Hurt Syndicate, the arrival of Bobby Lashley, MVP, and Shelton Benjamin. And, of course, the rise of the Don Callis family, the reunion of Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, creation of the conglomeration. So much has happened this last calendar year alone, but 6 years, to your point, AEW Dynamite continues to exceed its own expectations, even if it's not necessarily what you hope to see as a wrestling fan. But I am forever grateful for this company still existing and all the countless moments I can take away from it. Coming up next, though, TNT champion on the line. Protostar Kyle Fletcher will defend against freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, the conglomeration. Orange Cassidy, no stranger to gold, as we know, who's made his before on Dynamite, former AEW International Champion 2 times over. As, of course, we now get a commercial break here. Fuck television. And again, want to remind you folks here that are joining us, I hope that everyone's enjoying the conversation reaction so far. Already, we've already hit the fan with what the fuck. And Andrade Eagle's back! Into the Don Callis family.
So I want to ask you.
Go for it.
And maybe I see that Walter's in the chat. So maybe, Walter, if you want to type in your answer to this, you can. So Andrade is now the first wrestler to go from WWE to AEW, back to WWE, back to AEW.
Yes.
The rumors were that he was not released. He was terminated, right? For lack of a better term.
Yes.
Reasons are unknown. I don't think we know still what it was, but apparently there was drug test. Do you, if we're assuming that was it, that he failed the wellness policy, do you think it was a good idea to bring him back into the fold now, seeing it live? Or, like, this is pretty soon. Like, this was pretty quick.
Right? Like 2 weeks ago, I think he was literally talked about being gone.
And this just proves that there was no he must have gotten fired because there wasn't no non-compete. We don't know why he got fired. Do you think they should have waited? Do you think that today was a good time to bring him back? Like,
well, I mean, again, let's not forget, one time long ago in Daly's place, Andrade Eagle was brought into AEW on Dynamite as well as a new signing. But this is a new aggressive Andrade Eagle, and he's targeting one of the biggest players you can in AEW, Kenny by God Omega. I mean, that's a hell of a way to bring yourself back into this company. I'm just saying.
But do you think Toni will get scrutinized because of the way Andrade was let go from WWE, and now he's bringing him in right away?
Well,
I mean,
Well, I mean, to your point, there's always going to be scrutiny. There's always going to be judgment. There's always going to be pettiness. It's just whether or not it's sound or if it's cynical or if it's just downright stupid because you have a keyboard in your hand. Yes, I do believe there will be backlash by the internet, but how much does the internet know versus what Andrade knows? The only person that knows anything is Andrade El Idolo, and it's up to him whether or not he shares it. Whether it's on AEW, whether it's on Ariel Helwani, whether it's on Chris Van Vliet, whether it's on his own choice. We have no right to judge or guess. The bottom line, Andrade is clear enough to apparently return home to AEW. He's back in All Elite Wrestling.
Mm-hmm. And I think
it's not like it was a blood money deal.
No. And I think with this signing, it just makes me want a brand split even more. And I know people are going to be like,
apparently, Walter Cruz, Mr. Nostradamus here, who's been calling a lot of stuff, including the fact that Leon Slater will defend his X Division Championship against NXT's Javon Evans. Of course, we'll be covering that October 12th, folks. Stay tuned for more of that, of course, with TNA Bound for Glory. And still so much more to come here at the Samoa Studios. But it just goes to show, it doesn't matter where you are in this business. Not everything comes down to the almighty dollar. Sometimes morale and happiness comes into play too. And Mark Briscoe's the definition of that as we go backstage to Mark Briscoe. I'm a celebration. There's also time for reflection. For the company as a whole, but also personal reflection for myself. Better part of the past 6 months. My life's been consumed by 3 letters. MJF. Accurate.
wondering.
Man, you all talk, MJF. Very, very specifically, to not let my brother's name come out your mouth. But you reported more than once. Show you that your words as content. Yeah, damn right. That tables and tax match was ridiculous. Saying I can't win the big one. Well, Max was I was big enough to win it all out. And I sent you on a nice little sabbatical. But which number was winning titles, winning gold. Well, Max, the reason I'm not getting a shot at Tia Towers because you cost me the match. Kyle Fletcher took out Hologram, so now it's my man Orange Cassidy stepping up for the conglomeration. I ain't selfish, man. I celebrate my friends, my family, with my friends succeeding. So tonight, when Orange Cassidy wins the Team Challenge, we're going to be celebrating. There's going to be sitting on the couch, cleaning your wounds, picking the rest of the tax out your ass. I thought that was Mr. Tooth's job. Happy anniversary. And Mark Briscoe with a nice little send-off, well regards to MJF as we celebrate the anniversary of Dynamite. Let's go to Justin Roberts for our next match. You want to talk about a title that's defined AEW Dynamite that's always been involved here since its existence. It's the TNT Championship for sure. The titles have more holders than all the other titles. Orange Cassidy already broke the Titantron. Of course he did.
I find that to be pretty cute.
Well, I mean, for Orange Cassidy, it's whatever. The single pyro gets me every time. I remember when it broke Cage when they did the single pyro on top of Wembley. Anyway, here's 1-0 against Kyle Fletcher. The last time these two men faced each other was back in 2023. But Orange Cassidy has never been the TNT champion. As I said, former 2-time AEW International champion. To this day, still the man that holds the most defenses combined with that title in its history before it was merged to the Unified Championship.
Look, honey, it's the guy you hate.
Oh, come on now. This is going to be a hell of a match. What's got to get George Cassidy?
So Mrs. Nick was very disappointed to learn that not her coffee order, but something she really likes from Starbucks, I guess, is the same drink that Kyle Fletcher likes, and it made her disappointed.
I feel like I need to change my sweatpants.
Oh, you're wearing pink sweatpants too.
Pro star Kyle Fletcher, who of course right now is going into his fourth defense as the TNT champion, was looking to break a streak tonight as he continues to forge his legacy to be the greatest TNT champion of all time, as long as he wants to hold it, since sending Dustin Rhodes on injury. Kyle Fletcher, of course, coming off an incredible defenses against Tomohiro Ishii, Hiromu Takahashi, and of course, most recently, an outing against him and Adam Page for the AEW World Championship, and another successful defense of the TNT Championship this past Saturday on Collision against Commander. A guy that is brimming with confidence, with so much potential for the future. Orange Cassidy, of course, has to work against the clock. Championship's going to change hands. Supposed to be a pinfall submission inside the ring. This match, of course, has a 20-minute time limit. As, of course, Orange Cassidy returned to action 1 week ago. It's a hell of a way to return to form, though, for your first singles match. Imagine Orange Cassidy upsets the Proto Star tonight. How would that affect the internet, Nick?
I don't think I'd like it. I think I'd be upset.
So for you, it wouldn't be whatever. It would be I'm upset.
Yeah.
But Don Callis probably apoplectic. I will give this to Don Callis, though, as parasite of the business. He has not gotten involved in any of Kyle Fletcher's TNT Championship matches. Kyle Fletcher has done these all on his own. Wait. Hold that thought. Never mind. I'm going to say the phrase, but he's just sidetracked me, as he always does. The unorthodox nature of Orange Cassidy, who took Will Ospreay to the limit at one point for the IWGP United States Championship. Yes, folks, that did happen. Schoolboy by Orange Cassidy gets a 1 count. Still one of the damnedest matches I've ever called in my life. Up and around. Crucifix bomb attempt. Kyle Fletcher hooking Orange Cassidy, though. Orange Cassidy trying to slip out. And again, unable to take over the Protostar. Don Callis, though, at ringside this time for Kyle Fletcher's match. Grabbing the head, hooking him up. Ready to look for the brainbuster early. Orange Cassidy, though, able to counter. But Kyle, again, look for that brainbuster. Orange, though, able to get leverage. Has a strength here, tying up Kyle Fletcher's odds, possibly looking for the backslide. Both men driving position. And obviously, there's a size difference here at the tail of the tape. Orange trying to reach for the pockets, though. Trying to really lock in this hold. Kyle Fletcher preventing it. And fingertips away. Whoop. Change position. Again. O'Connor roll by Orange Cassidy to cover. 2. Pushed off. Good scouting for that potential drop kick. And the head games begin for freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy and Kyle Fletcher, as we expected. Anytime you're in a match with Orange Cassidy, it's more mental than it is physical. You know, for someone that calls up the King of Slav style, it's amazing how quick Orange Cassidy can actually become. And
imagine Orange Cassidy was a heel with this gimmick.
I don't think the world of wrestling can handle that.
Like how would you make that into a bad guy?
Wear all black and come out on the slowest motorcycle? I have no idea. Tope Suicida by Orange Cassidy, driving Kyle Fletcher in the barricade, bringing him back inside the ring.
Yeah. Wear black. He's not wearing jeans, though. He's wearing sweats.
I know.
Jeggings? Jeggings?
Yeah, let's go with that. That flying kid drops freshly squeezed on the floor. Can Orange Cassidy squeeze a victory? Stay tuned. Wrestler client picture in picture, a full commercial break. Fuck television. I mean, the aspect of Orange Cassidy, though, to your point, as a character, is an enigma because he's always been a babyface, but he's also just been whatever. Like Toni sometimes, he just straight up doesn't give a fuck. At one point, he legitimately didn't give a fuck. Let's not forget, he once went all dark. Where is his mind? Didn't have any friends, didn't have any direction. Now he's back conglomerating without the blue highlighter, and he's almost back to true original freshly squeezed form in a way.
Yeah. Here, hold on. Let's play a game. Let's play the game called Ask the Wife. How would you make? Use your creative genius. How would you make a character that is super lazy, doesn't care, kind of like whatever? How would you make that dark?
Where is my mind? Where's my mind?
Of course. Everything in black, but I would picture him being greasy.
Black and greasy, okay.
Dye the blonde hair black too. Damn.
Doesn't do shit.
But I guess would him being heel be like he'd actually like care, like really like out there?
Apple commercial in case you're wondering, folks. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Morphin Orange Cassidy. Imagine Orange Cassidy in the black denim, black shirt, black hair on that graphic, folks. Dark Cassidy,
Yeah,
dark orange.
I would say dark Cassidy.
I don't think orange is come in black. I'm just saying.
It was a good one. Orange is the new black.
Apparently,
coming should not be renewing Netflix, by the way. Anyway, we've lost our minds already. Oh, well, I guess black color oranges actually do exist. They exist through mutations like navel chocolate oranges that naturally occur inside blood oranges with a deep crimson flesh. So there you go. A little fruit fact for you.
There you go. Fruit fact. So in the 6 years that this company has been around, what has been your favorite moment?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, it really depends how you determine a moment. Do I look at a match? Do I look at the essence of a promo? Or do I look at a night as a whole? Because sometimes Dynamite's been a pay-per-view level experience in itself. Whether I've covered it here on YouTube or whether I've watched it in comfort of my room right here on the futon. But I think for me, the number one thing that still sticks out, the celebration where the earth stood still in humility for the late, great Brody Lee. I never forget the impact of emotion on that tribute show for Brody Lee's passing, where the wrestling community stood united in respect and remembrance for, of course, the late, great Harper Lee, or Luke Harper.
Luke Harper.
So, yeah, Luke Harper. You know what I meant. So, I think for me, I'm always going to hold that near and dear to my heart. Other than that, I think probably when Hikaru Shida won the AEW Women's World Championship against Saraya, because that was always a match I wanted to see, and I thought that was a crazy moment, and she did it blindly. And I wouldn't surprise me if Orange Cassidy does something blindly here as we're back for AEW Dynamite here for TNT Championship. I can give you moments galore for Dynamite. Bottom line, I've had more moments from AEW in the last 6 years than I probably had my longevity of keeping up with WWE as a spectator.
Yeah.
Then again, being born on the Japanese strong Japanese strong style, again denied the pockets. I mean, I've always been a fan of those other companies for that competitive nature, emotional toll. That's the reason why I hold Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling in such a regard. And again, looking for the hands, and Kyle denies it. Kyle just playing with Orange Cassidy. Here, and Orange Cassidy right now might be looking to get fired up. So we're back here again, AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary. Kyle Fletcher fan, the TNT champion, get freshly squeezed. Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy refusing to deny his pockets, and again gets kicked in the side of the head. How many times do you do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result and not call it insanity? And Kyle Fletcher right now, Kyle putting the hands in the pockets for Orange Cassidy. I'm not sure what he's trying to prove here and how wise that is. Stomping away. Just vicious stomps to Orange Cassidy, of course, coming off of that surgery. I believe it was a torn pectoral.
Yes, it was a torn pec.
The stomps probably aren't going to help matters. Orange Cassidy might be looking to be lawn darted in the corner. Whoa! Great arm drag counter there, sending Kyle Fletcher to the turnbuckle pads. And the momentum shifted here in this TNT Championship match for freshly squeezed. And a kip up. And stay tuned, of course, folks. Special programming note this collision will be on 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. Oh, and the kicks, the most lethal kicks in the business by Orange Cassidy. Oh, picking up speed now, and Kyle Fletcher not amused here. Just eating these. Good grief. You talk about Orange Cassidy who only wears, like, you know, the jogging pants, jeans, or jeanies or whatever. Let's not forget, he doesn't even wear, like, wrestling boots. He wears, like, sneakers.
Yeah, not true.
Face first, the top turbo pad goes Kyle Fletcher, pillar to pillar, corner to corner, post to post. Swing and a miss by the Proto Star, shoulder to the midsection, up and over. DDT by Orange Cassidy. Spikes Fletcher. Sandy, by the way, giving her thoughts towards our commercial conversation. Can't imagine Orange Cassidy in black. Him being in color. Him being in that color wouldn't work for her. I think it wouldn't work for most people. For him, it would just be whatever. Orange Cassidy, purse in the top corner, turnbuckle, looking for the implant DDT. Kyle catching him, though. Mention local driver, cover 2, no! That was a hard landing for Orange Cassidy on the shoulder blades there, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeesh.
He got all of that.
Take a look at this, by the way. Using Orange Cassidy's momentum against him on the way down. Catching him, swung him around, and planting him hard on the shoulder blades. You saw Orange Cassidy grabbing the back of his head, still found a way to kick out. We talk about potential here, though, with a professional wrestler when it comes to the future. How about the potential of ring rust still being a factor? Orange Cassidy, again, second match since coming back from injury, first singles match. Up and around, stood up here! Every time people forget, you don't hoist Orange Cassidy up. Up and around, Orange Cassidy taking Kyle Fletcher, positive DDT. Kyle denies it, hooking him again. Another stun dog, denied by the Proto Star this time. And half.
Ooh.
And Cassidy, catches Kyle Fletcher running in with a super kick. They only calm on the pec, though. Oh, an express kick by Kyle Fletcher, Orange Cassidy. And hooking him up. Now Fletcher looking for the leg up. Oh, counter DDT! And Orange off the ropes, up and around, catching Kyle again! Spiking with a DDT, counter, far leg hook, kick at 2.
Only two.
Talk about the freaking Orange Cassidy's neck. Maybe I should worry about Kyle Fletcher's neck at this point. He's been dropped on his head 3 damn times now. Compressing the neck, the vertebrae of the spine. Why people say Tomoshi doesn't have a freaking neck. I assure you at one point he did. Also, remember the conglomeration. Still NJPW Strong Openweight Champion, by the way. Curious who's going to defend that title against next. Orange Cassidy taking the elbow pad off. Might be looking to give a stiff shot with some extra pulp. Orange, but nope. Kyle able to scout it. Hooking up again. Power driver attempt. Cassidy looking for beach break. Both men right now jogging up the deadlift.
Holy.
And Orange Cassidy's got Kyle hooked. Nope. Kyle again. Counter. Up and down. Great escape there. Cazador, the roll through. Cover. Crossleg. Cover. 2. Ooh. Kyle reversing, though. That was close. Wait a minute. He's got him hooked. Jumping tombstone pile driver, back press, four-leg hook, kick at 2.
Like, he caught him and, like, maneuvered his way up. That was impressive.
Incredible transition there as Kyle Fletcher can't believe that didn't put down freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, but the story of this competitor has been the MO of his career, Nick, resilience. That was a strong cover, too, to your point. All the body weight on Orange Cassidy's upper body. And, of course, Orange Cassidy uses that right elbow for the orange punch, and that right shoulder is where all his power comes from. Kyle, though, scouting him in the corner with the flying kick, connects right on the jaw. Looking for that brainbuster, Protostar brainbuster, inside cradle, small package. Almost got the championship. Narrow escape. Runs that silver kick again. Press kick. And Kyle runs a press kick this time. Orange Cassidy. Again, Kyle. Sudden explosive offense. Catching Orange Cassidy ascent. Orange Cassidy right now staggered. Uh-oh, I sense disaster. We've seen him use that brain buster on the top turnbuckle before, Nick. That's Fletcher right now looking to hoist Orange Cassidy up in position. Orange trying to deny it.
Uh-oh.
There's still some fight left in freshly squeezed. As James once says, the carton has not run out yet. Big headbutt to the Proto Star. I remember James was apoplectic when he fought that. Orange Cassidy was going to win the AEW World Championship.
Uh-oh, that's not hologram.
And Don Callis right now. What the hell is Don Callis doing? Wait a second. Is that hologram?
Nope.
Who is that? It looks like hologram as he's fending off Don Callis here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Red and black. Oh, what the hell? Well, this hologram cosplayer just split the uprights. Now Kyle Fletcher trying to take advantage. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Brain Buster on the top turnbuckle. He's going to steal it here. Cover two. Kyle Fletcher retains. What the hell?
Is that
Kyle Fletcher attacked hologram on Saturday, but this hologram's adorned in black and red. Is this the virus that's been breaking the code? Who the hell is this? I can only imagine what Mark Briscoe is thinking here, seeing that red and black emblem. Clearly, to your point, Nick, that is not hologram.
No.
But whoever this is, there was clearly a plan in mind here as we got this fake hologram of Kyle Fletcher assaulting Orange Cassidy. Oh, wait a minute, look at the conglomeration. Paragon and Mark Briscoe, they got to have a Fletcher got to what just happened. We saw that red and black Titantron behind hologram as he was being assaulted by Kyle Fletcher on Saturday. Well, either way, Kyle Fletcher is still the TNT champion. It looks like the Don Callis family just grew again in numbers. Good grief. Look at this faction. Look at the power of competitors here in this family, Nick. Yep, that's clone, all right. That's the clone right there. And shout out to my friend Lex who gave me the history. If y'all don't know who that is, he has a long-term history with the man we all know as Hologram. Well, another trick after another. Play by the invisible hand. Don Callis family grows in numbers. And the newest member of the Don Callis family is an evil hologram now. Welcome, clone AEW. I'm very curious, though, what this competitor's capable of in the ring. Good grief. Andrade, Igolo, and now Clone? Biggest problem AEW is no longer the Death Riders, the Don Callis family, bar none. How big is the family, Nick, for it's too big and it collapses on itself? Good grief.
Is that the story?
Well, the story here, we know Hologram's out injured, and his evil clone just appeared and screwed Orange Cassidy out of TNT champion to apparently along with the Don Callis family. That's the story right now.
Well, let's we got to be fair too. That would have been hologram. If the story played correctly, that would have been a hologram.
I don't think so, man. I think hologram and clone, like I said, they're two different people. They're not the same person.
No, sorry. I mean, like, that would have been in that. Orange Cassidy was in hologram's position, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
This story for that clone coming out, like, that was always going to be. Orange Cassidy was just taking hologram's place.
Well, how about this man taking his place in the Don Callis family? I don't think no one expected Andrade Idolo to show up. As we look back at what happened earlier. I mean, Clone makes more sense to your point because you're right. You're putting the story together. But explain to me how Andrade Idolo was in the friggin' deck.
Yeah, like, how do you... I guess like where's yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. What's the you can't just keep at what point do you start subtracting these members?
But he's going to have to make decisions sooner or later. Let's go backstage for Remarkable Renee Paquette. She is with the TBS champion, Mercedes Moné. Of course, Mercedes Moné is literally less than, I believe, 20 days from breaking Jade Cargill's reign as the longest TBS champion of all time. Of course, right now she's 9 belts. Again, 5 actual championships, folks. But she is looking for the 10th belt. To celebrate the 6th anniversary of Dynamite. Wonder what's next for Mercedes Moné. On Title Tuesday, next week in Jacksonville, she's going to defend her TBS championship. Not against anybody. Somebody what? Rest somebody from Florida. Who from Florida can Mercedes Moné wrestle with the TBS championship on the line? That's a food for thought. But of course, we also have the new AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. Your speaks volumes, Nick. Who's going to be her tag team partner? Oh, no. Harley Cameron and Minnie Monet back on screen. Oh, crap. Harley Cameron and Mercedes Moné have excellent chemistry. Freaking Minnie Monet. I can't help but laugh at the Minnie Monet.
How they didn't sell that though.
Try one of a kind. You might be right, Minnie Monet. I'm not interviewing a puppet. Well, a lot of decisions for Mercedes Moné to decide as the Death Riders continue to ride. Time for some trios action. Good grief. Again, Tuesday night special, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start time. Once again, Title Tuesday night Dynamite next week. And here comes a man that's been involved in AEW Dynamite for all 6 years. You want to talk about people that's been influencing this company? Tell me a bigger influencer in this company, whether in the dark days or the lightest of days, than Jon Moxley, Nick. I dare you.
Uh-oh.
The Death Riders, of course, who are getting out here.
Darby Allin's face just popped up on the TV. My wife looked up.
We know that Darby Allin's in the building, because of course he's going to face Jon Moxley one-on-one in the I Quit match. You shouldn't be surprised by that. But coming up next, Fields action, Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Darren Garcia, and Claudio Castagnoli are going to take on the Opps. With Kazuya Shibata out for the time being, face Darren Garcia, Hangman Page steps up. Hangman Page, Powerhouse, Samoa Joe versus the Death Riders. We come back to Dynamite 6th anniversary. We go to full commercial break. Fuck television.
Woo! So let's run it back. Let's run it back to the Don Callis family.
Yeah, go for it.
When does it start becoming too many members?
It's not too many members already?
Unless this is playing into a bigger story, I'm not understanding and I'm not seeing it.
The only story I see right now in the Don Callis family is someone has to defect. And I think it's going to be the Alpha. Again, the Alpha is challenging Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at King of Pro Wrestling, Rio Goku Sumo Hall, October 14th. You don't think that Don Callis wants the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship in his family? There's a reason why Rocky Romero is the freaking right-hand man to the invisible hand. But there's also a reason why Don Callis aligned with Kazuchika Okada, the next greatest thing to Kenny Omega. And now Kenny Omega has the AEW Unified Championship. Kenny Omega, the record-setting trailblazer, legend in his mid-30s from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and we're all clamoring. We've been teasing it with Konosuke and Okada. How do you get there, though, when it's not just a family affair, and you want the alpha to come to life as a babyface? You gotta see the alpha fill the point. Don Callis can't stand it anymore, and you gotta see Konosuke sick and tired of Okada calling him a bitch. October 14th is going to be a turning point for the Don Callis family. Mark my words. And I think that's when you're going to get your first real tale of a family choosing who belongs and who should be left behind forever.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, like I said, unless you start, I think there is a bigger story in play. So I'm willing to see where it goes. It's just, yeah.
You just got to wait and see, like I said. October 14th, here Pro Wrestling. It's going to be the next domino. Mark my words.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I just, like I said, I mean, it's a lot of members. Now you added El Clone. You added Andrade tonight. Like, I would have maybe put Andrade with Roosh and La Facción Ingobernable. Like, I don't know why you put him here, but
I mean, to your point, Andrade Igolo was literally the one that welcomed Roosh to AEW, but clearly both of those fans are on different mindsets. One's tranquilo, the other one's the absolute opposite. But right now, speaking of factions, of course, we have the Death Friars that have been riding since last year, if we're being honest here. They literally have ruled the last year of Dynamite, and now I've had Darren Garcia to the ranks. Darren Garcia, Claudio, Castagnoli, and John Moxley are looking to make a statement against the Opps, who took the trios titles from them. The first domino that was the Death Friars' loss of power and control. And Hangman Page, of course, who freed that title from that briefcase, sacrificing life and limb to do it. It does make me wonder, though, if John Moxley does still have his mind set on eventually capturing the AEW World Championship. Of course, he says that belts are just belts, and right now, he needs to remove the Darby Allin problem from his equation. As, of course, we are back here at AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary for this trios match here as AEW Dynamite continues. Again, 2.5 hour special, folks. You still got about 90 minutes left with us, and I'm sure there might be a little bit of an overrun. We still, of course, have mixed tornado tag team action and Thomas Toy Storm versus Ty Mello, as we wonder what the future might hold in store. And one thing's for sure, here comes a man that knows what he's about, and that's breaking backs. Here comes Powerhouse. Keyword power.
So how do you think Hook feels that because Shibata's out, that like that has to be a story, right?
Well, we know that, we talked about Hook before. You remember the segment. Hook's like, okay, I respect the Opps, I respect Joe. I would have done the same thing. But maybe it's time that I get some new friends as well. And that's why we got Hook right now aligned with Eddie Kingston. I think there's mutual respect definitely for the Opps and Hook, but Hook right now is going his own way. And maybe that's the better way for him to go right now. Meanwhile, Samoa Joe, there's only one way he's looking towards, and class is in session if you heard the superintendent. As here comes Hangman Page. I love when Samoa Joe gets a promo. I loved how he basically talked about how I had to make a new curriculum of pain. We'll see how tough that curriculum of pain comes tonight, who passes and fails. Hangman Page with a 17-1 record this year alone in singles action. You were talking about earlier, by the way, Nick. We will be covering Blood and Guts next month, Wednesday, November 12th. Stay tuned for more on that, folks, from Greensboro, North Carolina. And we know the women will go to war for the first time ever in that violent structure. I cannot wait to see what they do to each other. AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts, the most dangerous match, arguably in AEW history, that's sanctioned. Wednesday, November 12th.
Do you think the men get one?
Well, it really depends on how you look at these situations here in the men. Do you put the Death Friars in another extreme situation? And if so, who opposes them? I don't know, but the jury is out. We've never had 2 Blood and Guts matches on a single episode of Dynamite because they take a fucking hour. I think the women more so deserve it this year because we've seen the growth, we've seen the animosity, we've seen the history of the women's division this year. And honestly, I think that's the only division that deserves it right now, justifiably so.
That's true. That's true. You know what? I didn't think of it like that. Yeah. I mean, a match like that would take forever.
About to say, it's also not just a gimmick for a freaking nameplate where you just basically start and end with that same match and make it feel underwhelming.
Honey, you want to go to North Carolina?
North Carolina.
You want to go to North Carolina?
I mean,
Before
I've heard North
November.
Carolina's a very lovely place.
Travel for wrestling.
That's my next goal. To get her to get her to travel for wrestling.
You get to travel for wrestling. The Katsura Shibata right now, of course, is down indefinitely. The other third of the AEW
Deal.
Trio champions. Oh, and Joe teeing off against all the Death Riders here.
Deal.
Big uppercut. Claudio Castagnoli off the ropes. And ran through Samoa Joe for that elbow.
Get working.
North Carolina.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck getting in the airfare for that. I don't know how much Priceland's going to help you with that. Samoa Joe now in the Death Riders corner being triple team. It doesn't matter, of course, when it comes to the Death Riders, you never face them alone. They always have the numbers. It's always been their MO. Now adding Daniel Garcia to their ranks.
So is Collision tomorrow or Saturday?
I believe that it's going to be tomorrow for the people that are live, as you're looking at the ticket toll right there.
Okay.
So it'll be in Lakeland, Florida tomorrow, but it will be, of course, for us on Saturday night, earlier start time, special start time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, next week we'll be covering AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday from the home of AEW, Jacksonville, Florida, in Daly's Place. AEW Homecoming. And, of course, Collision next Wednesday night as well from Jacksonville, Florida, as we continue to forge towards Wrestle Dream. Again, only one match made official. Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin. First ever in AEW history, I Quit match. There, Garcia right now, isolated with the Samoan submission machine. And the body shots now by Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli might be one of the most complete athletes you will ever see in that ring, though, when it comes to what he brings. And tag made. Quick tags being made here in succession by the Death Riders, isolating Samoa Joe in their corner. Samoa Joe previously challenged Jon Moxley in Chicago inside a steel cage for the AEW World Championship. Good sweep of the leg there. And a full upset on crushing Moxley's spine.
So I have a question, and I want to hear.
Go for it.
I want to hear what your.
Tag.
I want to hear your thoughts.
Go for it. Hangman paired that tag.
What do you think, or how do you feel about them calling the AEW World Championship the AEW Men's World Championship? Like I know that just started with Hangman, and I know that people, online discourse and shit. How do you feel about them actually emphasizing the Men's World Championship?
Faraway slam and a kip up. I think it really shows the equality of value they want to put towards both the men's and women's world championship. Yes, Hangman Page is the champion of AEW, but he only challenges the men. Why can't the women be classified as main event? Why can't the women be classified as this is the woman that's the best, that's leading the division forward? AEW tries to breed both the men and women's world championships as the cornerstones for this company. Neither one is an afterthought or greater to each other. They're both equal. It makes AEW feel important on both sides, where I still feel in a male-dominated world, women's wrestling is still not regarded enough. Tag made to Powerhouse Hobbs. And, of course, now the AEW Women's World Champion, Kris Statlander, to be in Thomas Toy Storm, pinning her in that fatal four-way. Thomas Storm will be in action tonight against Time Mello, wearing double shoulder tackle here by Jon Moxley and Castagnoli. Bottom line, I respect him and Page in regarding both the men and women's world championships for what they are. Equally on a foundation of the best here in AEW. And, of course, to the come tonight, Gates Vandy will take on the Swirl with Ricochet on commentary. Whether the best is in demand or on demand, we'll find out later. And, of course, still the combat match is going to be our main event, mixed nail tag match with Kris Statlander and Darby Allin, taking on with a Yuta and Marina Shafir. Marina Shafir has been the ride and die partner, taking legitimate bullets for Jon Moxley since the Death Rider saga came to life. And right now, Daniel Garcia teeing off against Powerhouse Hobbs. This is the moment where Daniel Garcia officially fucked up.
Yep.
Garcia, all heart, no brains. Garcia up the ropes. Oh, God! And just got wiped out. And Jon Moxley sending Powerhouse Hobbs the outside. And now Moxley looking to follow up here, pausing for the tope suicida. Powerhouse Hobbs catching him though, pushing him into the apron. And Moxley hoisted up. Oh, planted down on the apron. And Hobbs literally trying to raise the spine of the former AEW World Champion. Just smashing Moxley. Good God.
Commercial break.
This Trios Warfare continues live on Dynamite. We got a full commercial. Wrestling quiet picture in picture based on what you're watching. Fuck television. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, Nick. Regardless, respect women in wrestling. Respect both the world championships in all elite wrestling. Well, as we got a moment to breathe, hope everyone's enjoying the coverage and conversation so far. It's about the halfway point. Again, this AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary, and thank you all for tuning in as you make this possible. Again, Nilla Foster, Nick Ferrantes. We, of course, are your all-elite commentary duo for this evening. We'll see what happens next week, Tuesday, but been a pleasure as always, Nick, with your analysis of both the show, the story, and overall me, and overall what we're, of course, telling. So everyone's enjoying.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Next week, I probably... not probably. Next week I won't be on the show.
That's all right. We appreciate it.
I got sports.
Exactly.
It's on Tuesday.
Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That's fair. Anyway, please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, folks. Follow Nick on the X. Follow me if you choose, but honestly, it's not about me. It's about my friends across here at the Super Reliable Studios who want to keep you engaged across all things wrestling. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Rage of Wrestling Today right here on YouTube. Subscribe to Cassidy Studios right here on YouTube and follow him on the X. If you want to follow me, go ahead and try. It's right here on YouTube if you're watching this channel right now, and Fox 916, or I'm on the X where I do Predictions League. That reminds me, I got to put out the XT League updates tomorrow, so stay tuned for more on that, folks. Subscribe to James Hebert at jhebertsign95. Does really cool dumb things on the internet. Of course, you can follow him with Tism, sometimes on the X, in and out of the spaces, whether with Nick, Ash, or with others. Appreciate him as always. Don't be a dickhead. Subscribe today to Bag for Wrestling, our Canadian friend, the other half of the Canadian Connection, Ash, who, of course, is celebrating a birthday here. Again, happy birthday. And subscribe to Jeff Meacham Network, of course, as he changes where he does stuff from. He will, of course, be relaunching his network next year in 2026. Stay tuned for more on that. And, of course, follow us if you want to continue forward with all of our coverage and what we do at SR Studios 2024 on the X as well for all future updates, including the first ever awards for the Super Reliable Studios, where we look at all the wrestling, and you guys dictate who deserves it across all things wrestling. Shout out to my AEW fam. I will do another interview impromptu here pretty soon. Shout out to the Edgy King and my Forza friend Lex that works with Capcom, and of course my friend Mary Jade across the pond. We continue to prove that Jade is worth more than gold. Follow her at Hustle Wrestling. Follow Hustle Wrestling as well if you can. And again, follow Ragers of Wrestling, my fellow TNA faithful friend, TNA, screw NXT, not my NXT, damn it. Duttola, when it's wrestling time at Rangers of Wrestling. Again, you saw him earlier in the chat. Shout out to Rock and Roll. Shout out to DJ. So, again, if you haven't already, be sure to follow Rock and Roll also on the X. There you see, of course, the hashtags up at the top. And, of course, follow the Wrestling Collective. They're also great friends here, James Hebert and Subaru Studios. So follow along the Subaru Studios here for all things wrestling when it comes to coverage, analysis, reactions, watch-alongs, and even combat sports coverage by Walter Cruz. We're back on AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary here. Trios action. Darren Garcia distracting. Oh, God! And a running throw-out powerbomb by John Moxley, Powerhouse Hobbs. Center of the ring. Darren Garcia right now isolating Hobbs in the corner. The Death Riders have regained control here in this match. That was a ridiculous powerbomb. Good Lord. John Moxley throwing Hobbs friggin' halfway across the ring. This is powerful as it is to him. And it's going to be a hell of a test here right now, as Nick, of course, right now is testing being in the doghouse with his wife, apparently. So it looks like they are selling things. So all the things are all good there. Powerhouse Hobbs and Claudio Castagnoli squaring off with each other here. Testing each other's jaws with these freaking uppercut barrages. And Hobbs looking for the tab, but Claudio with the gut wrench grab. Too powerful. Claudio with the gut wrench suplex. Cover two, and Joe breaks it up. Oh, man, that was incredible show of strength by Claudio, though. Trying to break the grip, but was unable to as Powerhouse Hobbs. Front face lock right now is the neutralizing Hobbs, keeping him down on the mat and towards center of the ring, cutting off the way towards his team here. Again, capacity crowd on hand at the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, Florida. Now look at Hobbs, though, still trying to push Claudio, but Claudio somehow overpowering him. And again, brought himself back towards center, hoisting up Claudio. Claudio still with the front face lock control. Mere inches away, though, as he's taking a lot of energy out. Hobbs, cheap shot to the AEW World Champion, though. Big right hand to the jaw, and again, jaw jacking Samoa Joe. Still not letting go. What shot? Power slam by Hobbs. Critical opportunity here for Hangman Page and Samoa Joe to make the tag. Tag made. And the world champ's in here. Bryce Rensburg making the call. The tag was made. Hangman Page, not Samoa Joe. Not sure Samoa Joe is appreciative of that. Up and over. Bad body drop to Dan Garcia. And a wrecking ball clothesline to Jon Moxley as the AEW World Champion has regained control of this match. Cowboy Shiznak taking control here in Florida. Swing and a miss. Con with the southpaw. Garcia didn't see that coming. Didn't miss that second lariat. Garcia right now, fending off Page with a boot to the face. Up and around, up in the fireman's carry. To the driver! Cover two! No! Able to kick out. Not sure how he kicked out of there. Welcome back, Nick. Everything okay?
Yeah, I just had to change over.
Oh, okay, no worries. Right now, Hangman Page trying to change gears here. Looking for Deadeye here. And again, AEW Dynamite trending on the X. The All Elite Fleet, all part of the conversation. And Hangman Page eye to eye with Jon Moxley. The former AEW World Champion, who, of course, released that title from the grip of that briefcase and brought it back to light. Putting AEW for violent, physical, taxing hell this last calendar year. And Hangman off the ropes, kick to the midsection. Jon Moxley was looking for the Death Rider. Hangman Page able to scout it. Looking out, Jon Moxley passes for Deadeye. Jon able to scout again, though. Drop steps into the rear naked choke. Formerly, of course, involved in a match against Minoru Suzuki. Now looking to hook up Hangman. Jon Moxley for the Deadeye. Blind tap made to Claudio, though. Hangman unaware. Big boot to Samoa Joe. Taking out Hobbs as well. And Claudio saving Moxley. Change the position. Pile driver, the world champion. And now Claudio running European uppercut. Cover two. No. And Claudio almost pinned the world champion there. You notice, by the way, the heavy kinesio tape still on the upper shoulder blades of Hangman Page from that war at All Out. Hangman Sky and Jon Moxley, though, single leg hook. Cradle two. Ooh. Even on the kick out, he was still bearing his neck. Oh, God, a spine buster by Hobbs and Claudio. There, Garcia. Caught by Hobbs, ran in. Uh-oh. And Hobbs. And Garcia, though, with a guillotine, hooking Hobbs the outside. Samoa Joe taking Dan Garcia out, though, crashing into Hobbs. Death to Samoa Joe by Jon Moxley. But hey, man. Shot. Lariat. The Claudio's legal pop-up. Uppercut. Swiss. Death. Cover. Two. God. Hangman kicked out. So close to Claudio pinning the world champion. Fights for a neutralizer. Jackknife takeover cover. Two. And Claudio bridges up. Still maintains hold. Hangman, though, got Claudio hooked. Deadeye. Center of the ring. Hangman once again looking to hold the revolver. Got another bullet. Is it high? No puck. Shot. Lariat cover. Two.
1, 2. There you go. Good match.
Very good match. A hell of a fury on a finishing stretch there. Hangman Page and the Opps getting one up on the Death Riders for a falling Katsuri Shibata as a buckshot lariat dropped Claudio for the 3 count. Samoa Joe Powerhouse Man Page. Not a bad trio, honestly. Great work by the AEW World Champion. Garcia, though, again, trying to maybe look for a shot. Well, wait a minute. I'm about to say, strong trio here. We got 2 further trios. Champion Joe. What's Joe thinking? Joe is not hoisting up the trios title. But now he does. And Hangman, of course, still the AEW World Champion. Of course, Samoa Joe, former AEW World Champion. Wait a minute. What's this about? Huh? Uh-oh. Whoa. I knew that one tag spot was going to bring some heat. I think Samoa Joe feels disrespected by the world champion, and Hobbs trying to play peacekeeper. When Samoa Joe's in the ring and Hobbs and Hangman, you might need more than just security if things break down. Hopefully cooler heads here prevail. But we were talking about earlier who would challenge him and Adam Page next for the title, Nick. What do you think about Samoa Joe maybe being in the mix?
This is if they do this match for the tag team championships, or if they do this match.
Yeah, we have to screw the tag championships. What about the world championship? Samoa Joe's instigating Hangman here. We got security holding these men back. You about to say botch your part.
Yeah. No, if that is the case and he's going after the world championship, I think that just tells me that Shibata might be more injured than we think.
Well, we also know you don't want to piss off Samoa Joe.
No.
Again, a little bit of a disagreement during the match, but they still got the win. So, I mean, again, the AEW Men's World Champion, him and Adam Page, able to stand tall tonight at Dynamite's 6th anniversary against the Death Riders, but someone tells me he and Samoa Joe aren't done with each other. Speaking of not being done with one another, we got Little Nightingale with Jet Speed, who are far from done with that Nats totally halfway in FTR after slapping the taste out of that little idiot's mouth. I wouldn't mind seeing this 6-person mixed tag match. This would be pretty cool. I mean, I guess it's mixed on one side, though, but still. And, of course, looks like the Jet wants to take one half of FTR on one-on-one. It looks like Will Nightingale will be in the corner of Jet Speed this weekend. How can you not love Will Nightingale? Special surprise for Little Nightingale. And it looks like Stovey is going to honor that wish of Kevin Knight. He could have a match with one half of FTR. But coming up next, Thomas Story Storm goes one-on-one with Ty Mello when we return to AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary as we go to full commercial break. Fuck television.
Full commercial break.
Okay. So back to the AEW World Championship picture and also bring up the speed. Mercedes Moné is going to defend her TBS Championship at Tower Tuesday. We got one title match made official now. The question is who? Someone from Florida. Now, who do we know from Florida that could challenge Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship? What do you think? Let your thoughts be known in the chat, folks. Start doing your research. Who do you know
I don't know.
That could challenge Mercedes Moné for the TBS title, because that's what's happening next week on Title Tuesday. That's one of our matches. Trying to think here. Wrestlers from Florida. Wrestlers from Florida. Email wrestlers from Florida. Now, I wonder if there's been challenged like to the industry, because I don't know. I honestly don't know many people from AEW from Florida. Trying to think here. Florida. Florida's not one of those places you figure about when it comes to professional wrestlers. I'm being quite honest here. I know Jade Cargill debuted in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, but that's neither here nor there. I legit got nothing. This is interesting. I'm very curious. Nick, your brain looks like it's processing in overload speed here. You all right, bro? I see you.
Yeah. No. I'm trying to. I don't know. I
honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I legit don't know. I like that. I legit don't know. Huh. Okay. Well, this should be interesting. And again, Samoa Joe, him and Adam Page, that got hot in a hurry. I mean, that would be a world title match that we haven't had, honestly. I mean, the last time Hangman and Samoa Joe shared the ring for the world title, it was a triple threat at Revolution. And of course, we saw Hangman tap out to Samoa Joe. There's that Bandido for Strickland. And that was literally 2 years ago.
Yeah, and like I said, if that's the world title picture at Wrestle Dream, then there's something going on with Shibata. And I mean, if there's something going on with Shibata,
well, we talk about the concussive nature, of course, since that match with Kazuchika Okada back to Sakura Genesis 2018, where we thought he would never wrestle again. And again, Darren Garcia planted it on his head with that Widow's Peak curb stomp. Shania Payne shades of Taya Valkyrie of the Vendetta. At least one of the Vendetta might challenge for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. Wouldn't mind seeing that. And Safed also saying, very interesting. Yes. And also, we now know that Willow Nightingale, apparently that Nat Stokely Hathaway has a surprise for her coming this Saturday, as Willow will be in the corner of Kevin Knight when Kevin Knight takes on one half of FTR. Whether or not it's Dax Harwood or Cash Wheeler, we don't know. So we'll see what FTR have up their proverbial sleeves after what they did to Beth Phoenix and Christian Cage, as Adam Copeland is gone for a period of time. As we're back here now on AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary, backstage with Renee Paquette, Hangman Page, maybe we'll get some answers. Been on the air for 6 years. I've been so damn confused. Pitch fit, damn. I was confused. Angry Space, screw me, security. And then he looks at me. And he says, you never beat me. That's right. It's about this World Championship you once held. So, probably reason I'm able to hold the championship now. It's because of what you did at All In. So, one time match, I would give you one. At Wrestle Dream, Samoa Joe versus Hangman Page for the AEW Men's World Championship.
okay.
Whoa! I look up to you, I respect you. But if you come back after me like that again, I will ruin your whole life. Well, damn, Nick, looks like you called it. Hangman with the challenge Samoa Joe for Wrestle Dream for the AEW Men's World Championship. But meanwhile, spotlight please as we welcome in timeless Toni Storm. And look at
Timeless
Storm
Toni
all white.
Storm.
And of course, this is the first time. Think about this, Nick. This is the first time we're seeing the AEW Women's World Championship not around her waist. This is the first time we're seeing Timeless Toni Storm since she lost the title this year.
Mm-hmm.
Record-setting four-time AEW Women's World Champion, who of course asked for her own bloody murder and got it at the hands of Kris Statlander with her own inside cradle, her own biggest package. As he looks to fight Mello. And of course, Ty J made it very clear in Collision. They are looking to be, not only since they've been the first women's team here in AEW, they're looking to make history, become the first AEW Women's Tag Team Champions. Ty Mello, who has 16 wins in her past 22 matches, fourth degree, of course, black belt in Taekwondo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What better way to submit one when you're done, right? Than with Ty J. I mean, I'm happy with Ty J fighting. I love that. The time is now for Ty Mello and Ty J. You and me. For the first time. All right. Wow. Ty Mello going after the former AEW Women's World Champion for the first time ever one-on-one action. Look at Timeless Toni Storm's attire here tonight, Nick. It's a whole different type of getup here.
Yeah. I wonder what she's kind of going for.
I mean, I guess, it's still business as usual. I mean, again, she called for her own murder, so how do you come back from your own murder? Of course, referee for this contest, the best fish in AEW, Aubrey Edwards, for 6 years. Congratulations again, AEW Dynamite, and thank you, Aubrey. This is a very unique matchup here because, again, this is the first time these two are ever going one-on-one against each other. And of course, the most influential, complete character and competitor in the wrestling business on the Western Front. You'd be hard-pressed to argue against Timeless Toni Storm and what she's done this year. As I said earlier, this Saturday, Coast to Coast, AEW Collision is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Already on tap, Kevin Knight will take on a member of FTR. Cover here, the 2 count. Again, we don't know which member, and apparently Stokely Halfway has someone for the Nightingale who will be in Kevin Knight's corner. And of course, AEW Dynamite is next week on Tuesday night, Title Tuesday. Special night, start time Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Jacksonville, Florida, the home of AEW, Daly's Place. And we already know we got Mercedes Moné defending her TBS championship against somebody from Florida. The shoulder block there, the drop down by Time. Oh! Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm
I'm
stumped.
is literally stumped on this question.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Oh, big backbreaker. Well, maybe you'll get some ideas after this match, and maybe we'll get some ideas on Thomas Toni Storm's future after this as well, because I do wonder what is next for Thomas Toni Storm in black and white or in full color. Now, Ty hooking up Thomas Toni Storm, draping armbar. Could do a lot of damage there in 5 seconds. Again, it's an illegal hold, but still, you only can hold it for 5 seconds there. Trying to rip the tricep from Thomas Storm's arm. Look for the PK. Oh, man. And Tamel dropped face first on the apron. As this match continues, whose time is out? Whose time is to come? Stay tuned. Restaurant Quiet, picture-in-picture, a full commercial break. Fuck television. I do really wonder, how does a character change after a loss from an incredible championship run? The last time Thomas Toni Storm lost the title, we saw her 2-step Charleston into London and go back in time to Motley Crue Toni Storm. She's still timeless, but instead of the lady in red, she's the lady in white. You would think that she would be wearing black now. She has her own bloody murder as her title reign got its own funeral. So again, what is Timeless Toni Storm without the AEW Women's World Championship?
I kind of wish she went away for a little bit, give her a break, and kind of come back. I pitch it. Have her come back as a different decade.
A different decade? What decade do you call this? She looks like something out of freaking LA Noir, like a freaking detective.
Well, no, okay, maybe not decade. Maybe I'm using the like she was a 50s movie, like a 50s black and white, right? She should have taken a little bit of time off and then maybe come back as a 70s hippie.
70s.
Right? Like like playing like all of her gimmick and all of her attire would be kind of like a 70s hippie, and then have her roll with that, and then she can go away for a little bit and then come back as like a 90s action star. You know what I mean? Like give us different era of movie.
Well, I mean, she's gone from freaking Carmen Sandiego to freaking Queen of England to the freaking. She's done a lot already, but I do understand your point. And to bring Darren G up, good to see him in the chat, by the way. Apparently, him and Samoa Joe had been at Moxley during that match, whether it came to that title handoff or the fact that Samoa Joe sees him and Page the AEW World Champion. But maybe he wants that title back because Hangman never beat Samoa Joe, and that's a fact. As I pointed out earlier 2 years ago at freaking Revolution, Hangman tapped out to Samoa Joe. So I think Samoa Joe wants Hangman and wants the AEW Men's World Championship, Darren, straight up. It's just one of those things. You want to be the best, you got to hold the title. And I do wonder if Thomas Toni Storm wants to be the best again, or was it just too much? She, of course, called for her own murder. Again, when you literally are calling for your own murder, I don't encourage that for anybody in any capacity. I do wonder if the pressure got to her. We talked about she went roughshod for the entire women's division. Well, Kris Statlander was the one to upset her. Clear the whistle.
It is interesting to definitely see.
Right?
Her not having a title around her waist is interesting. Is like it's like wow, like.
Well, she seriously had that title since Grand Slam Australia back in February. As we're back here at AEW Dynamite's 6th anniversary, as we wonder what time awaits Timeless Toni Storm. As, of course, Ty J sets their sights in the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. Tamel facing Timeless Toni Storm for the first time ever in singles action. Right back up in the corner there by Ty Mello. The back elbow strike. Carmella previous challenger to Women's World Championship. Uh-oh. Scouting her. Whoa! The pump kick. My God. Coming back to form with that precision striking. Turning Timeless Toy Storm sideways with her boots. And Carmella scouting her for the head.
Final offer. That was it.
Whoa! Whiplash down the middle of the ring. Both women down. Man. Talk about turning her sideways. Both women down here. I always enjoy seeing Carmella in singles action. She's one of my favorites to see. Take a look at this. The way that she just dragged her by the hair, spun her down sideways, and both women crash in the center. Right now we got a standstill still here. Still the kind of night. Gates of Agony with Ricochet on commentary go up against the Swirl, Blake Christian, and Lee Johnson. And Thomas Toy Storm with the raise up. Again, main event still to come here tonight. Mixed tornado tag match. Darby on Kris Statlander, the current AEW Women's World Champion, will take on Yuta and Marina Shafir. Big elbow strike by Carmella and Thomas Toy Storm answering in kind as well. Both of these women just teed off against one another. These women aren't afraid to fight each other here or bleed. And right now we see, of course, Thomas Toy Storm tested through so much in her illustrious career. Well, she was actually illustrious before she was timeless, by the way. Hooking up Carmella for the Storm Zero. Carmella able to scout it. Swing it around. Get to the midsection. DDT! Both ladies countering each other. Tip for tap, move for move here next so far. And they're going.
I would love to see Toni put over.
Oh!
Toni put over Carmella.
Oh. That pump kick might have just turned her over a different color. And again, just stomping away at the former Women's World Champion in the corner.
Okay, so, I mean, this would be the only place we get it.
Hold on that front. Oh, went for the tie KO. Your point, almost got her there. German suplex counter, though, by Timeless Toni Storm. Again, how tough is a champion? Lights, camera, action. The hip attack on target in the corner. Hooking her up. Storm Zero. That's got to be a cover, too. That's a wrap. Timeless Toni Storm with the win.
So, do you think we see the doctor?
I don't know when the doctor's going to see you, but I also do wonder, will we see Timeless Toy Storm in a different shade of light or color, returning to form with a great singles winner tonight at AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary. She may not have been here since day one, but she certainly has been a timeless wonder this past calendar year alone. As it looks like she's going to address Hollywood, Florida. Let's go ahead and hear from our former AEW Women's World Champion. Spotlight, please. Quiet in the set. All out. When the bell rang. I did not hear victory. Oh, you didn't. I did not hear defeat. I heard nothing. Silence. The silence so deep. I completely gobbled her up. And I stared at her. Because in that moment, she was everything that I wasn't. A glorious champion. What? You're confusing me. I'm going to lift the ring. All the questions follow me into the dark. Without the title. Who the bloody hell am I? As Nick and I asked that question. Kris Statlander.
Wow.
I'm not finished with you. Wait, what? I need to know. 1-on-1. Yes. You name the time. You name the place. And I will be whoa. I thought she was going to say something else. She didn't finish it. Question swear in the head. We were talking about before. What is Timeless Toy Storm without the AEW Women's World Championship, Nick? I think we might get our answer sooner rather than later definitively as she put out the challenge. Of course, coming on Collision this Saturday, like I said, 7 p.m. Standard Time, start time. Eddie Kingston, you were talking about those Fires Monopolies earlier. Looks like Eddie Kingston's going to take on Dralistico in singles action. This is a big surprise. As, of course, Sammy Guevara is now part of Los Fires Monopolies and is once again Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion after betraying the Von Erichs after losing Dustin Rhodes due to Kyle Fletcher's actions. And, of course, we know the very stoic history of Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston. There's someone else for you to talk about. Anyway, so to put people up to speed, Thomas Toni Storm has called out the AEW Women's World Champion for a one-on-one match because she needs to know, is she truly the better woman? Looks like we're going to get an encore.
I don't mind that match. If that match is happening at Wrestle Dream, I don't mind it.
I'm already ready to purchase Wrestle Dream. Let's go. And of course, Eddie Kingston is no stranger to any fight. So let's go to Eddie Kingston one-on-one this Saturday on Collision. Again, Saturday coast to coast special start time, 7 p.m. Standard Time. But coming up next, the Gates of Agony look to demand respect and command the ring against the Swirl, Lee Johnson, and Blake Christian, with Ricochet on commentary as AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary continues. And we got a full commercial break. Fuck television. So, Nick, we were posing the question, what do you take from Thomas Toni Storm's win over Ty Mello and that very strong, stern, self-reflecting post-statement?
If we're going one-on-one at Wrestle Dream, I mean, I don't. Kris is not losing, so. Oh, excuse me. I don't mind it. Toni Storm versus Kris Statlander one-on-one. I'll take it. I'll bite.
Well, it's also one of those things that Kris Statlander, this, by the way, goes to show how much I care about Kris Statlander's growth, rise, finally that moment, because that's where it's fucking at, finally, damn it. Fuck all the disbelievers. I listened to her on the scrum, and even she said that one thing she needs to do, yes, she pinned her, but she's never faced her one-on-one. Thomas Toni Storm called the champion out to what Kris has been waiting for. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me after the night if Kris would have called Thomas Toni Storm out for this. Thomas Toni Storm with the first Solot. We're getting Kris Statlander and Thomas Toni Storm for the first time ever one-on-one to truly prove who is more than woman and who the better woman is. I'm all for it. Well, that being said, while we do have a commercial break, I think this is a great time for everybody to take, as JJ would say, a liaki, grab a drink, grab a snack.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you all this little commercial break of our own. Fuck television, but enjoy this, because you want to know what else I can cover here in the Cinema Studios? Take a look at what's to come here in our upcoming schedule.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And as always, Nick, you hear me say it all the time. The chat knows it by now. For you that are tuning in for the first time, know that we are truly encompass, celebrate, embrace, engage, analyze, criticize too. All the wrestling. As we go backstage, Samoa Joe Renee Paquette informing her what Hangman Page said. It's no surprise. To misunderstanding. I just understand we're allies for friends. Got puppy. Nice. Maybe this. It's the understood thing in the world. Maybe I've been so preoccupied with different I've forgotten who I am. I am Samoa Joe. A man you've never been in the ring. And on any day you've ever said you would never be greater than me. Amen. You know, cowboy shit. First, you stands for Samoa Joe. Deep shit. Damn. Well, tension's high, but there's the official graphic. You're right, Nick. Coming up on Saturday, October 18th, Hangman Page will defend the AEW Men's World Championship against Samoa Joe, a man he's never beaten before in the ring, as Joe looks to find himself once again. What a men's match we got coming. I can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to October 18th so much. So basically, to bring up to speed of those that are tuning in, as we are just a little bit of ways away from our main event. This is the definition of filler if I've ever seen it. This is weird. We of course saw Thomas Story Storm beat Time Mello, basically trying to figure out exactly who the bloody hell she is, as she called out the AEW Women's World Champion for a one-on-one encore to prove who the better woman is. Champ chooses the time. Champ chooses the place. Some of them are going to learn that time and place before the night ends. And we just heard Hangman Page and Samoa Joe basically challenge each other verbally, as we now know it will be Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe for the men's AEW World Championship at Wrestle Dream. This was, of course, after Hangman Page, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs did beat the Death Riders in trios action, but it did come with a bit of hostile miscommunication between Samoa Joe and Hangman Page, with either that in tag or that title handoff, or Samoa Joe trying to figure out who the fuck he is. And we also learned that Mercedes Moné will defend the TBS Championship next week at Title Tuesday against somebody from Florida. We have no idea who that is, though.
So there's two names that it seems to be floating out. One, I would say, highly unlikely, and the second name, I would say, The first name that I see floating around, but I think it's highly unlikely, is the Doctor.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD?
She technically lives in Florida, so I mean.
I blame JJ for that, by the way. It is a little bit like, it's louder than a freaking Fox intro from movies.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe. I feel highly unlikely, because why would you have her come back, her first match, just to lose to Mercedes?
Well, to be fair, it would be their second ever one-on-one encounter. Who's to say the result would be the same? We talked about before, Nick, you followed AEW as long as I have. We've seen history made with title changes on Title Tuesday. Not to mention, if Dr. DMD beats Mercedes Moné, she will stop her from eclipsing Jade Cargill's reign as the longest AEW TBS champion.
Yeah, but I think you're this close to that record. I don't see you beating it. Like, I don't see you not beating it. If you're this close to it, I can't see you not beating it. You know what I mean? Like, you're there. You might as well do it.
Up and over, Blake Christian, Lee Johnson right now. Stephen Zaguri. The way I see it, though, is this as well. Kris Statlander already made history, becoming the first woman to hold both the TBS and the AEW Women's World Championship. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, will become the second and it would be her first time holding the TBS championship. It also would mean that Mercedes Moné, gutbuster, would finally lose the richest cornerstone of her business portfolio.
But again, you're so close to beating Jade's record. I think I truly think Toni doesn't want that record there. So I think he will. I think he'll be petty, and I think he'll break it. So I don't see it being her. I would be wrong. The second name I see is a former WWE talent, Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai's in Florida?
Apparently.
Huh. Well, that'd definitely be a bit of a side chance. Then again, we are going down under in Australia next year for a Grand Slam. I'm sure she would love to be part of AEW when they do that. And she also would be a very unique aspect towards maybe the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. Captain of Team Kick. I can see her, Tamel, and Anna Jay forming a trio. Get a new trio against the Triangle of Madness. And let's not forget, we got Women's Blood and Guts coming up. You're going to need more bodies for that madness.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Dakota Kai, though, that's an interesting shout out. I didn't think about that name at all.
I know that Dakota. I'm pretty sure the rumors were that they wanted to sign Dakota before she went to WWE on her second time around.
Right.
So
I do remember that before the walk-in with Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai at that SummerSlam. I do remember that, to your point.
So, I can see it being her. Other than that, I don't. Who else is there, really? I don't know.
Well, the thing is, I don't know the entire scope of the business, but this could be, again, when you think about Open Challenge, it could make somebody in a debut, or it can make someone's return too. And this is Title Tuesday. We've seen the AEW Women's World Championship since on Title Tuesday. To my point earlier, Figure Kaoshida once beat Saraya for that championship. So the TBS Championship changing on Dynamite, that's already on TBS on Title Tuesday, would be a very unique coup, in my opinion, before Wrestle Dream. And I think it also would prove this idea of pettiness is not heavily petty in this company versus others.
Yeah, who knows? It's
a food for thought. Just a food for thought.
It's stuff like that people bitch about the open challenges. I'm just like, it's whatever.
It's literally whatever. What do you expect? Open Challenge is about showcasing a title and bringing forward a talent who could go on to bigger and better things. It's as old as a tale itself in any company for any championship underneath that freaking idea. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Seriously, there's not much more food for thought than that. Well, that being said, again, as we wait for our main event here in mixed tornado tag team action, you do wonder, though, if Wheeler Yuta is going to be given a receipt, is going to be made a catalyst for Darby Allin, who looks to make John Moxley say, I quit. I think we really got to look at this with the fact that this is going 1 year pretty much, as we, of course, back in AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary for this filler for Gates of Agony versus, the Swirl. Covered now by Bishop Khan and a 2 count. Of course, Bishop Khan, Toliona, Gates of Agony, alongside Ricochet. They call themselves the Demand because, of course, when you demand respect, you don't have to earn it. You just take it. And, of course, we've seen Gates of Agony against the Swirl previously, before they aligned with Ricochet.
So has
what's up?
Hangman hasn't beaten Samoa Joe. No, he didn't.
No, he has not. Remember, the last time we saw those two in the ring, Samoa Joe made Hangman tap out. Whether or not it was Swerve MO driven, that still is a win for Samoa Joe against Heyman and Page, and Heyman has never beaten Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, folks, still to come tonight, our mixed tornado tag match main event. Darby Allin and Kris Statlander, the AEW Women's World Champion, against Wheeler Yuta and Marina Shafir. That is our main event that will follow shortly after this match. As, of course, AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary has a 2.5-hour run. So buckle up for what's going to be a chaotic affair. Meanwhile, Lee Johnson, ankle pick though by Toa Leona. Toa is a beast, by the way. I just want to put that out there. Toa is crazy.
I like how they're giving Lee Johnson a. You know what? As much as their gimmick kind of sucks, I like how they're giving Lee Johnson and Blake Christian. They're giving them a spotlight on the show.
Well, it does feel like the demand has definitely earned this spotlight since being in the Hurt Syndicate, which we haven't heard on our tail of since AEW All Out, to your point, after Ricochet beat MVP with the Spirit Gun and probably damaged his knees further. Whoa! Corkscrew tope, easy for me to say, by Blake Christian. And let's not forget, Blake Christian and Lee Johnson have victories over former, Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions and Ring of Honor World Champions. Drop face first. And Tala sending Blake Christian swirling inside out. This is not going to end well. Big hip attack by Tony on the corner. Lee Johnson. Follow-up meteor by Bishop Khan to Big Shotty Lee. It might be the beginning of the end for the swirls. We know it. Open the gates and close them here. Hoisted up. Johnson planted. Cover. 2. That's it. Damn. Demand sent. And now Ricochet bringing Blake Christian back inside the ring. Okay, I understand giving them opportunity, but come on, Nick. Even you got deemed this unnecessary. Come on now. They beat the two, all right? You did the work, okay? Now Ricochet lining up Blake Christian for the Spirit Gun. Shout out to Yu Yu Hakusho. And the ball. Did I not mention a group that's all about business earlier? Well, it didn't take long.
I have to remember.
Pick up again.
I have to remember you're on a. I think So this whole stream I've been ahead of you. So I'm trying to match you.
It's all right. I got the Hersigan on my screen. The best dressed complete faction in professional wrestling. MVP Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, dressed to the nines, and of course they hurt people. They hurt people.
Hurt people.
Got a couple questions real quick. About what? 95 area code of the building right now. Again, MVP 305. Just saying. Let's not forget stopping grounds. 786 area code is the building right now. MVP, are you trying to just close the entire state of Florida? There's the 305. I was waiting for that. Please tell me this crowns what my name is. MVP. First ever IWGP Intercontinental Champion. MVP, man. MVP. Montel Montavious Porter. Gotta admit, I embarrassed myself. Oh, apology to my business partners, my brothers in arms. Ball-headed booty shaking back from his two backup dancers. Damn. You beat MVP. That's true. Maybe I lost a step.
Huh? What are we doing?
I don't know. And like I used to be. I mean, he is up there in age with those knees. One thing I can do better for you is fight. I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to put on wrestling boots. I don't want 3 count. What I want. No squad. A no disqualification street fight. I'm about to say, how many times did MVP toss Bishop Khan around? You got. Will you see us next week in Jacksonville in a street fight?
So we're getting it next week.
I mean, we didn't get the yes or no, but I would say he would say yes. Wow, good toss. Happy to oblige with that ass whipping via street fight. Looks like we got our answer. Well, Ricochet and the Gates of Agony accepting the business proposal from MVP tonight. We're definitely going to see
no problem
next week. We got a street fight I'm okay with this rivalry picking back up, but let's go backstage for Nate Paquette. And there's Kris Statlander, because that's where it's at. Already a huge challenge, of course, from Thomas Toni Storm for the World Championship. 6 years at AEW. 6 years across the path. 6 years in the trigger eye. Cataract. They've never wrestled one-on-one. That's why she is a fine champion. A cosmic killer. Let's do this. For the Women's World Championship. And Wrestle Dream! Speed of which, Darby. Oh, good grief. Hardly camera again. Mini Monet. Okay. Well, Kris Statlander accepting Thomas Toni Storm's offer for Wrestle Dream, but coming up next, Statlander's got to get ready for tonight's main event. Alongside Darby Allin, looking to take the head off with a Union Marina Shafir. Mixed tornado tag match. Our main event for AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary. That happens after this commercial break. All hell's about to break loose.
No problem. I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
I'm absolutely for it. Again, I'm ready for October 18th. I don't give a damn what's happening this coming weekend. Give me the 18th. Kris Statlander, Thomas Toni Storm, 1-1 First American.
Oh.
Yes, please. Should be an incredible match in the ring. October 18th in St. Louis, AEW Wrestle Dream on pay-per-view on HBO Max. I'm going to go backstage to the Don Callis family. Shuchiko Okada, Kanosuke Takeshita with Alicia Dute. Clown and, of course, Andrade added to the family. A clone. And the good Andrade. Tonight's a good time for Brodido. You escape. And you don't like that. Good challenge next Tuesday in Jacksonville, Florida. Come to the ring and wrestle. The Great Okada and the Alpha Kanosuke Takeshita tag match. Me and him. You and me.
He doesn't like it.
I told you, Nick. Watch it unfold. Each. As we get ready for our main event, fuck television. Okay, so first off, let's fucking go! Kris Statlander, Thomas Toni Storm, first time ever singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship at Wrestle Dream. And they're hosting to get just challenge the demand to a freaking street fight next week, Tuesday in Jacksonville. I'm all for this shit. Fuck you go.
You've got enough for your own states to be free.
If your mind's wandering about stuff, go ahead and speak with it. Commercial break. Get your mind together.
No, I'm just looking at some stuff. I like how they're promoting things for next week. It's not just wait on Twitter to find shit, you know? I like how Tony's really like he's promoting next week's card, you know what I mean? Like he's announcing matches tonight, which is good to see. Tonight's show is all right so far. It's been a good show, been a decent show.
Been a very interesting show. It's a great celebration. We're building the pay-per-view. We're building next week. Again, you want to move forward. That's the most important thing when you look at wrestling. Yeah. You want to move forward and you want to be invested. And I think for the most part we have. I mean, hell, I didn't think Gates of Agony and freaking Swirl was going to lead to anything. And here we got MVP. Duh, we're in Florida. Freaking Hurston again. Her freaking demand in a street fight. Okay.
No, I don't think that's for next because title Tuesday
next week. He didn't say what day. He said next week in Florida.
But is title Tuesday in Florida though?
Dude, yes, Jacksonville, Daly's place.
But at that home, so then is Dynamite title Tuesday and Collision's homecoming?
I think they're both basically homecoming, I believe, because we're literally going home to AEW. Jacksonville, Florida is the home of AEW. You know this.
No, I do. I was just like, huh.
Yeah, it's all putting the pieces together, you right? Yeah, dude. Next week, Jacksonville, Florida, Daly's Place hosts both AEW Homecoming,
Yeah,
Dynamite,
okay.
and Collision, and we got Dynamite on Tuesday with Title Tuesday. I think Collision's
Yes.
still going to be Saturday, though, but regardless, they get to go there live on Wednesday.
Yeah. You're right. Title
As
Tuesday
someone
is.
who's all these since day zero, I know I'm fucking right about this coming. I'll tell you that much. Anyway.
Yeah. Because I was like, how is it? Unless they were doing it on Collision, but no, you're right. Yeah. Title Tuesday is in Jacksonville. So.
Yep, they both are, both from Daly's Place, the true home of AEW. When the world was shut down and was dead and was looking for still life in this business, Jacksonville, Florida, Daly's Place kept pro wrestling alive with a last glimmer of hope for something new with AEW, giving us the most authentic thing you could have that was non-robotic, non-controlled, and non-archived. And, of course, we're getting ready here for our main event mixed tornado tag match. It's main event time on Dynamite! Uh-oh. And please tell me Darby Allin does not have that flamethrower. How do we get a license for a flamethrower? Dude's blank crazy. Here's another person that's been here all 6 years in AEW.
Just thinking about that. He's already said he's not like this is a guy is never going anywhere. And he's so young. Imagine when he's older. An older Darby Allin.
Well,
it's like
I'm about to say that depends on what his future looks like, because again, Darby Allin or Jon Moxley have to say I quit in St. Louis. Live on pay-per-view on HBO Max. You talk about potential of this business. Darby Allin, whose DNA is far from normal, who literally lives like today is his last day, saw dead bodies surviving the town Mount Everest, survived a car crash with his uncle at 6 years old. There's no telling what it's going to take for Darby Allin to quit wrestling, let alone against freaking Jon Moxley. As we welcome in main event stat, our AEW Women's World Champion, the Cosmic Killer, Kris Statlander, AEW singles record, 80 wins, 24 losses in her illustrious career. Darby Allin with the most singles wins in his career, 126. And of course, we just learned it will be Kris Statlander versus Timeless Toni Storm. The Encore, the first time ever singles feature attraction for the AEW Women's World Championship at Wrestle Dream. But this mixed tornado tag might have a bittersweet symphony because anything goes, no tags needed with Marina Shafir and with a Yuta. Good luck, Aubrey. You're going to need it. Oh, boy. Very rarely do I see Marina Shafir in combat on AEW. I would still argue, Nick, that the most invaluable death rider to Jon Moxley's MO has been Marina Shafir, bar none.
Yeah. Is Darby going to jump off of there?
What? Why are you putting ideas? Oh, God! But you had to bring Darby Allin's name into play as you lunged into these people at the entranceway. Why did you do that, Nick? Oh, God!
I don't know. When I see things like that and high things, I just feel like Darby's just going to jump off of them.
Right now, Marina Shafir choking out Darby Allin and Kris Statlander. You see, folks, here in AEW, the men aren't afraid to mix it up with the women. And again, there's no disqualification. Same Marina Shafir, who, of course, wrestles barefooted, also transitioning from the world of MMA. And Darby Allin choking the life out of Wheeler Yuta here in the entranceway. And Shafir and Statlander, Aubrey's going to have to keep. They're going to need more referees here for this freaking thing. And, of course, Kris Statlander, Marina Shafir, also no strangers to each other. Oh! Well, there goes that, I don't even know what you call that, freaking banner flyer sign. And Kris Statlander, of course, needs to not turn her back on Shafir, who's got her trapped in a triangle.
And remember, this is a tornado tag match.
Yeah, but I don't know if falls count anywhere, to be fair, Nick. We know it's no disqualification. Oh! Shafir dropped face first on the barricade. Honestly, Shafir
Oh my
versus
God.
Statlander.
What is she doing? What is she doing?
And right now, Marina, Shafir, and Kris Statlander up against the barricade here, and all four competitors here amongst the All Elite Fleet. There's a stretcher. Why do I feel like that stretcher is going to come into play and might be needed for somebody by the end of this?
I don't know.
And Statlander, what the hell? Darby Allin setting up Yuta, and Shafir for Stat with a cross body on the upper balcony. Stat's fired up here. I can't say I don't blame her. There's a double bird to John Moxley. You know, it's kind of funny I find Stat do that because I knew she was going to do that. But remember what John Moxley said? Don't ever, ever let anyone tell you who you are or what you're worth. And apparently that included with a Yuta in that equation when she decked him with a southpaw lariat. So at the end of the day, with John Moxley smiling, you wonder if John Moxley was proud that Statlander did that. It's not like Statlander's been freaking scouted by John Moxley. She's been scouted strictly by Yuta.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Darby right now has got with a Yuta with a seat looking to launch like a ball. Oh, God! Flashes spine first through that chair, full velocity. And Shafir right now with a rear naked hold on Statlander. Stat drives her into the barricade, breaking the grip. And in the midsection to the problem. Let's see if Statlander could be the problem solution. Still the Defy Women's Champion, by the way, looking to be solved. These knee strikes right now by Statlander, hooked by Shafir. And perched on the table. Oh, full palm strike. And again, just shots fired here. Big round kick. Drops Stat. Statlander goes down hard, and Darby Allin might be broken by God in half. With the Death Riders ride high on victory tonight. Dynamite anniversary. Stay tuned. Let's run quiet. Picture in picture. Full commercial break to come. Fuck television. I'm about to say here, though, again, you had to guess that Darby Allin was going to do something ridiculously reckless. He didn't dive out of the audience. He just launched full back first into a steel chair at full speed. Of course he did.
Yeah, it's just like, of course he did.
About to say, I mean, is that the only reckless thing he's going to do tonight, though? I'm just saying. Anyway, about to say, Marina Shafir, of course, who I think this is like what, her third time going to combat, I think, on Dynamite for the Death Riders in mixed tag action. The second time, let's not forget, at one point it was her and Moxley, I think, against Willow and Swerve in mixed tag action. Let's not forget how that ended, Nick.
That was a very interesting match.
All right. Well, again, I do wonder. You look at the pieces of this equation. We know Statlander and Thomas Toy Storm's happening at Wrestle Dream. We know that Darby Allin and John Moxley's happening at Wrestle Dream. Will Yuta has a chance to weaken Darby Allin for John Moxley and get revenge on what he thought was going to be his friend once again in the Death Riders. Shafir, though, you want Shafir gives a shit about anyone's well-being here, including Yuta's for that matter.
Yeah, it's. My thing is,
What's your thing?
if you're a fan, let's see, if you're booking this match creatively, who says I quit? Like, how are you?
Well, isn't that the MO of an I quit match? How do you break a person's will to say those words versus their body? Because the body doesn't say I quit, it doesn't count. You got to consider what John Moxley's been through hell and back, drinks blood, fought his own demons, reformed himself, brought AEW out of the dark, back to light, pushed the AEW World Championship over the last calendar year without bringing it to sight, but it still became the most must-sought-after thing. Meanwhile, Darby Allin, he said he's here to literally live like today is his last day because this is all he has. This is what he loves. To your point, he might as well be a lifer. Still wants to go into space, wherever that's worth. And Darby Allin has literally been thrown in a coffin, ran by over a bus, lit on fire practically, survived Mount Everest, as I said earlier, survived a freaking car crash, has been involved in coffin matches, dropped off ladders through glass screens and tables, How do you kill something that won't die is the question. Why Darby Allin says, how do I get rid of Darby Allin and make him quit? To your point, we don't know the answer to that, and that's the scary thing. And it's got to be sanctioned, clearly, because I quit, here it goes.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
I figure so far about Wrestle Dream. We got to get through the nightmare tonight that Darby Allin Kris Statlander wants to be towards the Death Riders as we wait, of course, for AEW Dynamite to return here to the airways. We got less than 10 minutes left. And, of course, so much has been set up to your point. We know we got a street fight coming up with the Hurts to get versus the Man, Gates, Vanities, and Ricochet. We know that we also got Mercedes Moné defending the TBS Championship against someone from Florida next week on Title Tuesday. And Wrestle Dream, we got both our AEW Men's and Women's World Championship matches booked. With Yuta, misses the corner, gets to the midsection. Sidekick by Kris Statlander, Shafir. Oh, wow. Drop face first, goes Shafir. Statlander, arguably one of the most pound-for-pound strongest female athletes in the AEW women's division here. AEW Women's World Champion, went for the round. Back elbow strike. Oh, jeez, that was nasty. Of course, Statlander coming off double knee replacement surgeries, torn ACLs. Went for the Tiger Fin, instead went for a head scissors lock. Oh, that DDT takeover. The head scissors DDT by Shafir on the apron. And now, very unique offense here by the Problem. Darby Allin with a Yuta. I see a bed of chairs. Why do I feel like someone's going to go through that? And, of course, Aubrey Edwards decked up in heavy gloves. He should be. And rewind. Standing switch. German suplex to Darby Allin on those chairs. You saw Shafir send Statlander into the barricade in the timekeeper's area on the outside. And what is Shafir thinking here? Uh-oh, this is dangerous. A very precarious walkway here for Statlander and Shafir looming over the floor on top of the timekeeper's area. Someone's going to have a horrible fall here. Oh, from the eye, and Statlander hooking up Shafir. Suplex for the tables!
And if you notice, Shafir hit the chair that was there, too.
And meanwhile, Yuta just got perched on the top rope, and Darby Allin setting up that steel bed of chairs once again. Rearranging the furniture in the ring. Talk about resiliency earlier. Talked about the toughness of Darby Allin, the man that never says die. But with a Yuta right now, I sense disaster. Oh no, Darby Allin with a Yuta. Superplex into the chairs! Grabbing both of their bodies. A Pyrrhic move for Darby Allin to hurt with a Yuta as fast as him. Cover by Aubrey and kick out.
And okay, so if you notice that spot, she didn't even hit the table. She hit all chair.
Yeah, about to say, looking at the replay here. Oh! Into the timekeeper area. Marina Shafir's spine buckling on that chair while Statlander's whole body crashed through that table. And with a Yuta and Darby Allin both concave their spines on that bed of chairs in the ring. And of course, AEW is still being talked about all over the X here using the hashtag AEW Dynamite. Our main event here at AEW Dynamite's 6th anniversary. Darby Allin with a Yuta. Marina Shafir, Kris Statlander. Again, thank you, AEW, for giving 6 years of incredible, explosive, wild moments and matches. This is AEW Dynamite. Big right hand by Willa Yuta, former Ring of Honor Pure Champion. And right now, Willa Yuta hooking up Darby Allin for draping. Oh, no. Neck breaker on the apron. Jeez.
That must hurt. Like, I've never taken a bump before. I don't think I ever will take a bump before, but I feel like that fucking hurt.
Well, the apron, the hardest part of the ring, where, of course, wood meets steel, and no. Willa Yuta's got a little black bag, and I guarantee you, one of two things is inside that. But Willa Yuta right now adding even more mischief to the equation. As the problem's been neutralized for the time being alongside Kris Statlander. Yuta alone in the ring with Darby Allin, and we got thumbtacks. Oh, boy. Thumbtacks landed across the ring here. Paul turned on the outside of the ring, but oh, no, that's Mike Posey. Mike Posey outside the ring. With a Yuta hooking up Statlander. Olympic slam!
Wow.
Down goes Statlander.
I guess. Okay.
I told you here, the men are afraid to mix up with the women, and Wheeler Yuta felt betrayed by Kris Statlander. Wheeler Yuta thinks the only reason Stat's champion is because of him. Now, truth be told, Statlander used a seatbelt, but guess what, Yuta? You're not the only competitor in wrestling to use a seatbelt pinning maneuver. And meanwhile, Wheeler Yuta, no way. Look at that hook up Statlander for those tats. Oh! Great counter suplex into the chairs. Meanwhile, Shafir on the back of Statlander, though, rear naked choke applied. And meanwhile, oh no. Oh, God!
Right in the feet.
Big feet of Shafir in the tacks! That has gotta fucking stop beyond belief. Oh, and Yuta just drove Stat to the outside of the ring. He got powder in his hand. Back elbow strike. Back up to his feet. Yuta with a handful of powder. Oh, no! In the face of Shafir! And meanwhile, Shafir can't see. She's showing out Yuta unknowingly. But Statlander to the top rope. 450! He crushed Yuta and Shafir. And Darby fired up the air. Cover drop to Yuta. Cover 2. Oh, and it's Statlander with the win.
Not bad.
And both of them pin Wheeler Yuta in succession. Marina Shafir problem solved tonight as Kris Statlander and Darby Allin stand tall at the end of AEW Dynamite. And of course, we will see at Wrestle Dream Kris Statlander and Timeless Toni Storm for the first time ever in singles action, as well as Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin in an I Quit match for the first time ever in AEW, as Timeless Toni Storm and Kris Statlander, of course, made the challenge to the champion. Who is Timeless Toni Storm? What will she be? Is Statlander here to stay? We will find out for the first time ever, one-on-one at Wrestle Dream for the AEW Women's World Championship. Can this be a Torre Teeth right now? I am so fucking ready for this match. Oh, here we go. That's right, bro, bitches. Going right at it. Why the hell not? Keep fighting. And of course, security right now talking about, of course, how much Statlander and Timeless Storm want to prove to each other. Darby Allin right now whipping with you like a government mule with a studded belt. And again, Shafir's been neutralized, got tags in their bare feet. I don't think no one's coming to Yuta's aid, by the way, here, Nick. Good grief.
Again, I'm ahead of you.
Oh, and from behind the bastard Pac, we haven't seen it all here tonight. Remember, Pac was Darby Allin's undoing at freaking All In that coffin match. And Darby Allin, of course, has more problems than he can track, but he doesn't give a fuck. Now Pac with the studded belt in hand. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Then here comes Jon Moxley and Castagnoli and Garcia, Death Riders in tow. Out of the ring, Darby Allin's got that literal belt around him like a choker. This is crazy. Wrestle Dream. You have absolutely zero chance of doing what you're going to need to do to win. Never say die. Relentless Darby Allin. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but at Wrestle Dream, for the first time in your life, you're going to say the words, I quit. I mean, you were asking the question before, how, Nick? It might just be a matter of when. Incapable human part. Meanwhile, Pac. What shot of hilarious! A final shot sent from the bastard Pac. 18 days time, someone hits their deadline. One of these two men will have to say, I quit. It doesn't become more of an end than that. And of course, still much more to come. We're not covering Collision this Saturday, folks. Eddie Keenan versus Jurassic. Kevin Knight versus one half of FTR. But of course, we'll be back here next week, Tuesday night, covering Title Tuesday live. Mercedes Moné TBS Championship Open Challenge for somebody from Florida. Still so much more to come as AEW celebrates 6 years. Cheers to you all. Here's to 6 years and then some. For Nick Ferrantes, I'm Noah Foster. Thank you all for tuning in our coverage. This has been AEW Dynamite 6th anniversary, and we are on the road to Wrestle Dream, where some dreams are going to become nightmares. But until next time, make a positive impact in life, and have a good night. This has been AEW Dynamite. Happy anniversary, folks. We'll see you next time here at the Super Labo Studios. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to cut the fucking feed. And Nick, thank you. You did tremendous.
Cut it, buddy. Cut it.